Let me know if you can hear me. How's it going? What's today, y'all? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. All right, y'all. Listen, we going to get into this whole wrap up of Ready to Love. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You guys will be able to come up here and say whatever it is that you got to say. Can y'all hear me though? I mean, I see people watching, but I don't see any comments. So I want to make sure y'all can hear me. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the first I want to talk about the little interview that Corey did over on Kamisha Review's channel, child, and how it gave me a complete headache. Okay, it gave me like, oh my god, a headache. Right after I talk about that for a little bit, we gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. You guys are more than welcome to come up and say whatever it is that you have to say about this whole season in general, from everything that we done discussed up until now. Okay, I think the last piece of this puzzle is gonna be Zadia's interview with Little Black Book. I don't know if that's this evening or tomorrow. I'm not sure when it is. But what I'm saying is, we definitely gonna go get into that interview, and if anything good come out of it, we'll probably be back live to discuss it and talk about it. Okay, and then after that, hopefully that's the end. Y'all know I love a yellow heart. How are you guys? Hey, Elena. Hey, Cupcake. Hey, CK Minster. Hey, B. Hey, D. So listen, um, Corey is insufferable. Let me tell y'all. When I say I got a complete headache watching him, I don't understand what was the point of the interview if you don't want to get into the mess. I'm sorry. I'm here for all the positivity. I'm definitely here for the positivity. But when you go on a show and you have been involved in something and someone asks you about it, why not just clear it up? Did you take the pictures? Yes, I took the pictures. It's not what you guys think. End of the story, point blank, period. There's a way that you can actually really have a conversation without, first of all, the aggression started bothering me. He started getting defensive. He was all over the place. It was like at one point he was saying he was all about to see you, right? All about to see you. But then he did the grandest gesture for Mameen because he was all about Mameen. But then from the very beginning, it was all about Sabrina. I was like, well, child, who was it all about? Like at this point, who was it all about? You don't know, so you can't tell us. We get it, okay? And I'm like, he wasn't trying to listen. He's talking in circles. And the only thing that we want Corey to understand is because he want us to know, okay, all the women out here, okay, that we have never dated a man who does grand gestures for us and we never seen the grand gestures be done. Let me tell you something. All of us have had grand gestures to a certain extent, okay? And if you haven't had that grand gesture, it's because that man didn't feel like you were special enough for it. He feels as though it's his job to go out into the world and do grand gestures for every woman so that every woman can have a grand gesture done for them at one point in time. No, Corey, that's not how it works. When you find your woman and you want to do these grand gestures, you're burnt out because you did them for every woman you've ever came in contact with. They hold no substance. They hold no weight. It's not special because you've done it so many times before. I was sitting here like, it's like he couldn't comprehend what anyone was saying to him. He wasn't trying to answer any questions. And when you ask him a question, he goes around a whole circle. And I'm sitting here and I'm literally getting a headache. And I wanted to ask Kamisha, like, tap me in, sis. Tap me in. Okay. Tap me in so I could get him all the way together. Because right now, what he's doing is playing in our face. And I'm proud of Kamisha because it could not have been me. I would have cut him off a long time ago. And I would have been like, no. No, what you're not about to do is come up here and try to tell me how I'm going to spend this daggone interview. Now, if it was questions that he didn't want to talk about, he should have made it very, very clear to Kamisha, I do not want to address this, or this. Please try your best not to bring it up. And I'm sure she would have respected that. But he didn't do any of that. He decided to go up there and, I just want to be all about positivity. I want to be all about no negativity. Well, what do you expect for us to talk about with all the negativity surrounding what was going on in the cast. I mean, Corey, like, let's just be honest. You want to talk about, oh, I just want to, have a good time. We can have a good time, no problem. But there's so many different things that we also want to discuss, or there would be no point of the actual interview. Correct? So why are you here, sir? Why are you here? Like, I don't get it. Since when leaving raggedy note cards around a pool, then lying about it a grand gesture? I don't know. He tried to make it sound so grand gesture, okay? He done went and wrote a song, made a music video for Mumin's "Stay Right, Stay Right, Stay Right" song, okay, child, the one that she made with Walter. I don't know if that's what he said. I'm just making that part up, right? But then he felt like getting to see a hot dog with just mustard on it was like the best thing he could have ever done, because that was him showing that he was really feeling her. And I really did not like how he tried to downplay Tasia and make it seem like, oh, I was really into her, like he had to be really into her because nobody else was going to be into her. That's the vibes that I was getting. It was like he was trying to sell us to her, and I'm like, you don't need to sell us to see her. We know, we seen to see her. She's a cute girl, okay? She's a little baddie. You ain't got to give us the breakdown on to see her. Okay, so the whole interview with Corey was just really bothering me. I was so annoyed. Yes, he was there to lie in our face. He was there to play in our face. And I'm just gonna give a shout out and tell Kamisha, girl, you good. You good, girl, because child, the patience of a state you must have, because I probably would have been like, you know what, Corey? If you don't want to do the interview, just say that then. If you didn't want to do the interview, just say that then. He did say that he didn't try to hide their relationship because what he say? He said he didn't try to hide it. It's the way editing did it. But then why was you sitting up there at the reunion acting like you didn't want to add her into the mix when she was like, what, didn't we have a connection? Wasn't he trying to make it seem like, Tasia wasn't there? Even all the guys, like, we all said we kind of had a connection with Tasia, which also seemed a little shady, because if y'all all had a connection with Tasia, why was she in the bottom the first day? But that's none of my business, child. We done moved way on since then. Okay. Tasia should stay at home with her mom if she came to confirm being a love triangle with Corey. Child, the shade. I'm not gonna do this. So we're gonna do this. It's just so the interview really stressed me out because I really wanted to understand Corey. I really felt like maybe we just didn't understand him. Maybe he just was trying to find love and put his all into everything, and it kind of backfired on him. That's the feeling that I was having. But when he said that he came on Ready to Love to learn how to date, I said, this is not the show to learn how to date, sir. This is not. Ready to Love is a dating show to prove that you are ready for love again, not to prove that you want to, not to learn how to date people. That's why you should have been kicked off in the beginning. But y'all know they got that squad up there holding on to people for dear life. And I'm not going to hold you. I felt like he didn't want to answer a lot of the questions because he was caught up in a lot of the mess. Okay, that's why I'm interested in to see Zadia's interview, because I feel like whenever you when you get whenever you start you, the only reason why you will want to answer all the questions is because you were really ready to speak your truth. The first date king needs to learn how to date, child. He said it. He's with the whole crew, and this is why he didn't want to speak on nothing negative, because everything negative had to do with his crew, which is why he's sitting up there saying how much he loved Camille. I said red flag. How much he loves out it, red flag. How much him and Camille Cornelius be like hanging out. That's his bro, for real. Red flag. I mean, I need to get me a red flag banner at this point so I could just start waving it. Okay, it's the red flags all through the interview for me. Okay, and then he sat up there and tried to get a little bit aggressive with my girl Kamisha, and I'm not playing that. You need to calm yourself down, sir. Calm yourself down. She's getting frustrated because you came on her platform and you're playing in her face, and she's trying to be professional by not cursing you out. And y'all know Kamisha got a good cursing out in her, okay? So we're not going to sit here and you sitting here and talk, you trying to cut her off. And then you got the nerve to be trying to ask the questions like you doing an interview. Sir, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. He had me all angry early. I'm like, what is going on here? Toss the red flag, flag on the play. Exactly. Hey, Two Ellie's girl. I just was sitting in there, and the whole time I just could not think. I just could not fathom why he thought him going up there to not answer questions was going to be a good look for him. I think I watched 10 minutes of Corey interview. I just couldn't do it. I can't listen to him talk without getting irritated. So for my sanity, I had to stay right. The whole cast, in my opinion, rough around the edges. Too many frauds on the show. Mom, hey, Mom. Hey, Millennium and Mom. I hope you're feeling well. I'm so happy to see you in the YouTube streets. It's been a while. Welcome back. But yes, I am so over it. You guys, I am going to put the link in the chat because I feel like I done talked so much about Ready to Love. So I need y'all to come up here and carry some of this weight off of my shoulders because I ain't got no more to give y'all. I don't got no more to give y'all. Besides the fact that this whole cast get on my nerve, but I will say this. Hold on, let me get the link in and put it in. And then I don't know, Two Ellie's girl, do you think you could pin this? Can you pin this, or do I gotta pin this? Let me know. I will say this. Aisha's interview on Crystal's channel was freaking everything. Okay. When you actually go on this, she's a real prime example of what you're supposed to do when you get on this show to find love, how you have to heal yourself already and be in a really good, be ready to actually find love. Go on this show with the right intentions, not to click up, not to make friends. After this process is over, then you seem like a cool person. We can hang out, not hanging out when they not filming. Like, she really stuck to the process. She built different connections with people, and she let the men pursue her so that she can make a decision. I said, and just listening to her, it just was like, why can't we get a cast of Aishas? Like, if we get a cast of Aishas, we really could have a really good show. We could really have a good show because her energy was on point, and you could tell that she really wanted this. And I'm happy that she got the love that she deserved because, well, hopefully they last. But it's seeming like it's the thing. It's the whole thing. But I'm glad that she got the love that she deserves because she really did the work. She was not playing. Okay, when you sat there, you listened to her and how she did her process, and then it made perfect sense to me as to why there is eliminations. I really feel like eliminations don't make that much sense in a dating game, but I guess that's when you come to the point where ready to love is a question mark. Are you ready to love, right? So it gives them the opportunity to sort out the people who aren't really ready for love. And then in some cases, they may not just be ready to love with the people on the show. And that's also okay, right? But I really started, this season is the first season I actually understood why they eliminate people. For instance, Frank should have been eliminated. Because all the women told me that Frank was not ready for love. But she held on to the idea that, I'm going to just go with what he's saying. If you telling me that 9 women out of the 10 of us is telling me that you not ready to love, that means that they see something that's flagging. Something in you is flagging all these 8 women, which means I need to be cautious with you. Unfortunately, this was a game of politics. So we couldn't get people who like Tyrone, who I really think may want love. We couldn't get people like him to find his true love, to build more connections, because We got people like Cornelius and Camille playing games for fame. And we got people like Zadia bullying people to vote people off so that certain people could stay. I don't know. She never told us. She never told us. But it was definitely a whole thing. And I think this season has really showed me how the process of Ready to Love is supposed to go and how it's not supposed to go. Okay, just like I feel like Sabrina was actually ready to love. um the fact that she didn't settle for Walter just to say, "Oh, I want a man at the end of this," or "Oh, I got a man at the end of this." I really love that, she did her thing and she chose herself, because that's another part of the process, choosing you. Mercy said that the lady saw what Mumin refused to see. It's a lot of things that we all saw that, she refused to see. And for one of them, it was that he was definitely into Sydney. Okay, that's for one, child. You went and got you a hypersexual man, thinking he was going to be celibate and go to church with you, and God knows that was never going to happen. Okay, I pinned it. I pinned the link. All right. So you guys are more than welcome to come up and say hi to me, talk about the season, rant, laugh, make jokes. Okay. Just be respectful. Okay. Don't, no cursing, and no, no real dragging. Okay. Just a little bit of dragging. Okay. For Frank, it was Sydney or nobody. It always seemed like that for me. It always seemed like that for me. Hey, Misha girl. How are you? So yeah, I am so happy that this season is over. Y'all don't even understand, okay? So happy that this season is over. Like, these people have wore me out. Every time I turn the first 5 episodes, maybe 5 or 6 episodes, right? We all was like, what is going on? We can't connect with this cast. Nothing, it's not grabbing my attention. I can't get it. Okay. But then after she, I'm about to say after she, and then after like that 5 week mark, they was like, "Oh, y'all really want some stuff? I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want." Hey, Millennium and Mom. Hold on one second. I want to read this one comment, okay? Um, She said Zadia is doing this interview after watching all her cast interviews so she can be better prepared for her answers. We will hear more excuses and defending them accountability and apologies. More excuses in defending than accountability and apologies. I completely agree with you. But this is the thing. I want to see if she gonna bring that rah Zadia that everybody's been talking about behind the scenes, when she accidentally kicked Carrie, when she was trying to fight Sydney, when she was threatening Shallow and the other girl to put Walter and Dante, or Shallow and Sydney to put Walter and Dante in the bottom, and when she was sitting up there, just doing the most. I want to see if she's gonna bring that Zadia, or if she's gonna bring reunion Zadia, whereas I'm walking off. Okay, call me back when you can talk. So I'm curious to see which Sabrina, not Sabrina. I don't know why her name is in my head. Which Zadia is actually gonna show up in this interview? But I'll be watching. Hey, is this Mom? Hey, Mom.
It is, Mom.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You sound good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, this whole season for me, I don't know. They kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I first saw the first episode. And I didn't know why. Like, you never know why until the season goes along, right? But that Frank, that Walter, Naeem, Cornelius, I mean, half of the men, Troy, why were they on the show? Like, for real. Why were they on the show?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
I can name off the women too, but I can tell you, I think that I'm just going to jump around a little bit.
Go
Let me
ahead.
jump to the end. When Mumin said that her and Frank stopped talking the moment they stopped filming, I thought that was the coldest piece I've heard on this show yet. Because you know what it is, just like on any reality show, while you're filming. You didn't have to wait till the last day, pump that girl up, meet with her family. They're African, just like he's African. It's like, oh yeah, I want African babies. Knowing good and well, you didn't want Mumin like that. I thought that was so wrong. I really did. And I felt for her, you know? And I still don't think he saw the error of his ways. I still don't think he does,
They said
honestly.
that what's his name? Corey said that they was getting into Frank for about an hour.
Well, Corey don't have that much credibility anyway, so whatever. And then as far as Walter goes, I mean, I think him and Sabrina had a friend connection only. I don't think it was romantic because, as we know, as a woman or as a man, if you're interested in somebody, you're going to call, you're going to text. I mean, how many times did she say, how come you didn't call me? How come you didn't text me? And then at the end, he had the nerve to look like, what do you mean? I'm like, you are just too old for like the what do you mean face, you know?
Exactly.
And it was just so much. And that Zadia and what's her name? The other one with Cornelius? Camille?
Camille, yeah.
The quote unquote Brown Girls Club, once
Mm,
again, too old for that nonsense. Too old.
right,
They just had something this season with Denise and Calfani about the colorism thing. So
right.
don't act like you didn't know. And even if you didn't watch the show or the show was filming during that time, you already know that comment would have generated some type of colorism. And they're gonna sit there and be like, well, what are you talking about? It was just too much. What are you talking about for me this season? Like, I don't know what you mean. Too much passive aggressiveness for people, just like the Cia said. Grown people,
Mm.
30s, 40s, into 50s, they don't act like they don't know what it is. And I can't roll with that. And then they have the nerve to have a second set of people from DC.
This cast look a little rough around the edges. I ain't gonna hold you.
Right, they were. But I did like Aisha. I did like her. I do think she was genuine as well. I do think Mumin was genuine. Out the men, I'm not sure who I thought was genuine, honestly, because men are men. So I
Mm,
didn't really get a genuine vibe from them. But I hope whatever his name with Aisha treats her right. That's
Dante.
all I got to say. I think Corey, I mean, he just was just fake from top to bottom. I mean, don't nobody ask to meet your family on the first date and leave no little notes like you in the third grade. Like, who does that?
He think these are grand gestures.
I heard what he said.
In his mind, these are great because we have the way he tried to tell us that we ain't never had nobody do nothing nice for us. I said, he said, what? What you talk about?
Exactly. I just, mm-mm. But yeah, I don't know. This show to me, or this season, or this cast, or maybe where they're at, I don't know. I just think a lot of reality TV, too many people are on it for the wrong reasons, for like some type of promotion. You know
Mm.
what I mean? It's like the real reality of the people who want to be on there aren't there. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my age group. I don't know.
No, it's not just you. It's definitely people wanting to get exposure. It's definitely people wanting to get exposure. And I said this the other day. I don't have a problem with if you want to promote your business while you
Right.
also happen to be on the platform. That's perfectly fine. But what are your intentions? If your intentions are to actually find love, then that's different. But if your intentions is to solely come up here, Frank, and shake, shake, shake up your little, drink, and show us that you own a bar and all that other stuff, then that's the issue.
Right. Right. And your 15 minutes of fame only lasts till the next season come on. So
They didn't give us a break for this one either, so that 15 minutes is up.
I know in 48 hours or whatever is up. Thank you next, right?
Right.
So, all right. Well, I'll go back in the chat. So I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. Tell Cassandra I said, hey.
I will. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
So yes, y'all. And that's another thing that I wanted to bring up, the fact that Aisha said that Camille told her that she was too light to be in the brown girls squad, which really bothers which really, really bothers me because like y'all too old to have a squad. Like how old are we? We got squads? Okay, this sound real, real janky, right? But she told her they told her that she was too light to be in the brown girl squad, and she was like, you know, peanut butter at most. And it just really bothers me that it has to be this way amongst ourselves. Like as much love and as much as we're all fighting the same fight, you would think that we could at least be there for each other. You know what I mean? That bothered me. It really bothered me because then it shows that it's not all about positivity at all. Hi.
Hey y'all.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. I just kind of wanted to clear up a few things about Dante. I feel like we just need to give him a little bit of grace.
Right.
Because Aisha wouldn't just pick anybody. She
I,
vetted the people that was in the process. She's done the work on herself. And I think sometimes when you have healed, you can see other healed people. You meet them where you're at.
mm-hmm.
And we have to look at even his ex-girlfriend mentioned that she would date him now. And that says a lot. He also mentioned that he's still cool with his ex-baby mom, or not ex-baby moms, but his baby mothers. Two of them are remarried. And one of them was like a childhood sweetheart. And that's his past, you know? So just watching some of their lives, you can definitely tell that he's done the work himself.
Yeah.
So
I said that and I think it was his live or either Aisha's. I said, I'm sorry, Dante, because I did kind of drag you a little bit.
right, I think we all did. When he said 3 baby mamas, we was all ski skirting like, what? Wait, what? Don't make it 4. But yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to take up anybody else from coming in, but it's Deja. Hey, everybody in the chat.
All right, Deja. Thank you for joining me, girl.
No problem. I'm going to hop back in the chat.
Okay, no problem.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. Y'all more than welcome to click the link and join in and to continue having this conversation about everything that has happened on Ready to Love this season, because the new season is about to start on Friday. And when the new season start on Friday, child, we gonna leave this season right where it's at. Okay, right on the floor. We're gonna leave it right here in these videos. And if y'all want to come back and discuss amongst yourself, that is perfectly fine. But yeah, so I actually really, really enjoyed Aisha, and like Deja just said, that we definitely need to show Dante a little bit more grace, because he has shown to us that he can be an upstanding guy. He has changed his ways, and he really, you know, put in the work to get Aisha, and it just, you know, it flowed. It definitely flowed. Give me 1 second. So yeah, you guys. I'm sorry about that. Aisha gave us a lot. It was a blessing to hear her testimony. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what real work look like. That's what real work look like. I know last night in Aisha, Sabrina, Courtney, and Carrie were on a live. And was it Carrie or was it Libba? I think it was Libba, not Carrie. No, it was Carrie. And what did she say? I lost my train of thought that fast. Dang, y'all, my thought literally just went out of my head when I was trying to think of her name. I was watching a live last night and Aisha was in Dante's gym. I was like, Dante got money. He got his own personal gym in his house. I said that would have been nice for us to know. So Dante got a little bit of money, okay? And I really, really, they also just said that if they should have a therapist on set as well. They should have a therapist on set as well. They discussed the fact that, you know, they need a therapist. They talked about, like, you know, their different makeup and how, you know, they did their own makeup. The makeup was looking real good. It was the lighting that made it look a little weird. Okay, it wasn't actually them looking as weird as they did. Okay, so I think they got to give us a class on how to do our makeup as, you know, melanated people for these lights, so that we don't go on the TV looking crazy. that gym was nice. It was nice too, Ellie. You saw, I said, not Dante's gym. Aisha was like, yeah, I'm in his gym. I'm in his gym. I said, she got her man. I felt like Liz, when Liz was like, Mama, I got a man. But I love to see her happy. And like Deja just said, she vetted the men and she picked the best fit for herself. And I love how she didn't change anything about herself. What she did was she went up there. She wanted to wear her, her blonde wigs, her black wigs, and production tried to tell her not to wear the black. And she was like, no, I'm switching it up. This is me. I want them to get all of me. So I really, really think that when we find out who we are, we can help better assist in what we are looking for in a partner. And I really, really wish that we had more people on the show that was putting in the work, because say what you want. We like drama, but we love love, right? And I feel like whenever you put a whole bunch of people in a dating situation, drama is bound to happen regardless. But the drama doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be catty. It doesn't have to be, shady. It doesn't have to be disgusting. It speaks a lot to a person's character to go up on national television and really show yourself to be an a-hole, to show yourself to be a liar, to show yourself to be a mean girl, and then sit back, watch it play out, and have no remorse, not be able to take accountability, to grow and learn from it. None of that. Like, you sat here, you watch this all play out, and you still feel as though you did nothing wrong. How? How is that? Y'all think they had less people in the B crew because they bringing people back? Is it 14 total? I don't think they're bringing back. No, I don't think they bring it back. Yeah, click the link. Join me. I don't think they're going to bring anyone back from past seasons. I think they're going to add people. I know they did say they're going to be meeting some new people on speed dating or something like that. So yeah, I don't see it being a new old people. Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good.
First of all, I want to say I love you. I watch a lot of your reviews, and I love it. I'm here for the hair, the makeup, all the things.
Oh.
The first thing I want to say about Aisha, I thoroughly enjoyed her interview, and I love the fact that she always stayed in her feminine energy, which I thought was absolutely
Girl, they
beautiful.
blow you up.
I think that they were very authentic. I was happy to be wrong about Dante because, like most everybody, I was side eyeing him. But I also enjoyed his interview too and how he broke it down. And I think it really makes me rethink, how I judge a book, on its cover. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the dark horse. Everybody was like, "No, he too fine. He got 3 baby mamas. Something ain't right."
And you know
And
he
I
got
think it was a
the
pleasant surprise.
Don't forget the immaculate peen.
All right, look, ain't nothing wrong with that. Sis got to get it. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that their joke about him rubbing on her booty and every girl, I don't care who you are, you're a good man that's gonna rub on your booty, point blank, period.
Period.
And I was here for it. I say, baby Dante, you better rub that booty, honey.
I used to say I got to go, okay?
And that's pretty much it. But when I seen sis in that swimsuit when she was sitting in front of that refrigerator, I said, oh, babe got body.
A lot of body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy.
A body. And let me tell you, I ain't no hater. I can respect and love a woman who got body, yaddy, yaddy. And I'm gonna let you know, sis, you got body, and I ain't mad.
Not even a little bit.
Not at all. So I'm definitely not interested in any interview of Zadi at all. I think she's just gonna give us more of the BS. And I'm just kind of over it. Sis, you need to go to therapy. You need to work on your heart. You need to grow up. I don't feel like any of it was cute. And I was kind of sad because she's such a gorgeous person on the outside. And to be so nasty on the inside is just, I think that's what was so sad for me, is to be that beautiful and then your inside not match what the outside looks like.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Yes. And so I definitely thoroughly enjoyed Dante's point of view and just having a male perspective. And him and that risotto tickled me, honey.
It definitely tickled me too.
Listen, regardless of what was going on, he didn't let us forget about the risotto, honey. Okay.
He gotta go back.
And I was thoroughly, look, Dante, go get your risotto, player. You've been through a lot. Go get your risotto, honey.
They
So
gonna
I,
have a date,
yeah,
reminisce.
yeah. So like I said, I wish them the best, but even though it doesn't work out, I like when Aisha said you have to remember that they're still human.
Mm,
So there's not a 100% guarantee that everything is going to work out for them. But I think that it was beautiful to watch a black man and watch a black woman who had done the work. You know what I'm saying? Didn't try to come off as something that they weren't. They
right.
did the work. They're full of wisdom. And it was a beautiful thing to watch because we don't get to see a lot of that on TV, especially reality TV.
Absolutely not.
So I thought that that was refreshing. I thought it was a beautiful thing to watch. And we, as viewers, as real people, we can tell when connections and when people are being real and when they ain't. 9 times out of 10, we can tell.
This is why, but that's why we was all shocked because they their connection happened like literally a week before it was over.
Yes. And I have mad respect for the fact that after the cameras went off, that they still put in the work because I think that's where a lot of them mess up. It's like when the cameras and the lights are gone, then they're lost and they're like a deer in headlights. Like, where do we go from here?
Right.
I like the fact that they continue to date and do normal people stuff, talk about life, because at the end of the day, like you said, it's about finding love and finding somebody to do real life with. Because real life is not cameras, real life is not makeup, it's not being filmed. Real life is when we sick, when we get on each other's nerves, kids got to go to school, all that type of stuff. That's what life is.
Right. That's exactly
Yes.
what life is. And they
Yes.
said that they couldn't work. A lot of them wasn't able to work because of COVID and things like that. So they were telling them like we'll pay you an extra stipend just to not go to work. So they couldn't even have a normal
Right.
everyday.
So I definitely enjoyed that. I thought it was cute that they would video chat each other and watch TV shows and things like that. Like I love seeing real people. Nothing makes me happier than if I'm gonna watch a show to see real authentic people.
You said it, okay? Because I feel like they trying to really play in our face.
And I was sick of it. I was sick of it. A lot of them was playing in their tail, and they ain't had no room to do that, Chloe.
They did it.
They ain't got no room to do that, and then have the audacity to think that we stupid and don't know no better. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We see you.
I know that's right. What do you think about Phil and Sydney? You think they're gonna last?
Um, I hope that they last. My only fear is I hope that she doesn't shove him to the side I hope that she doesn't get bored with him. I hope that their connection is authentic. That's my worry, is that it's all cutesy cutesy now, but I worry if they really do have the substance or really have put in that work outside of the show to be able to sustain them for the long run. That's
Yeah,
my worry.
yeah. I hope so. I hope they work. I feel like Phil. If some of the actors are true of what they saying, he got a battle to fight, and being as though Sydney, she seems to understand what type of man he is. So
Yeah.
I really hope that they can find that medium ground and be able to stick it out and do the work.
Yeah. And another thing I liked about Aisha, how she said, she didn't pressure anybody to vote for her or to keep her there. If you feel like you're not connecting with me or I'm not what you want, then send me home and I'm okay with that. And that's such a beautiful place to be. Like if I'm not for you, just be man enough to say that I'm not for you. I'm not mad at you, but I can respect somebody who's honest at the end of the day.
Exactly. And that's why I don't feel that's the only thing about this that bothers me the most is because
Mhm.
if you're truly not ready to love, then you need to go home. And like I said last time about, they were like, yeah, but he played Camille too. And I'm like, well, that's Camille's fault.
Right.
As much as I want to sympathize with her, but sis, if he did allegedly cheat on you or whatever the case may be, that's nobody's fault but your own because you didn't let him go through the process
Right. And
properly.
she has to own that at the end of the day. She bullied him out of an entire experience. No matter how they want to cut it, slice it, flip it, rub it down, whatever they want to do to it. You did not allow that man to go through the process. And I just don't have a respect or attraction to any man who is soft and just going to let a woman like bully you. Like Aisha said, I need a man's man. I want a man to be able to operate in his masculine energy. I want to feel safe enough to where I can operate in my feminine energy. Like, don't nobody want to have to, man, you got a puppet and tell him what to do and how to move? Like, that's gay. That's whack.
Girl, don't know. I'm look, I'm with you. I honestly feel like when it comes down to, us females of being investing in our femininity, we don't get the chance or the opportunity to do.
Yes.
So we need to recondition ourselves to say that if I'm going to pick a man, I'm going to pick a man who's going to be able to protect and provide for me. I don't want to be no independent woman if I ain't got to be independent.
Right. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Like, I want to allow you the space to be you and to be a man, and I want that same thing reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you make long lasting relationships. You know what I mean?
A balance.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. And I love seeing these little snide comments and stuff on the review. I mean, on the reunion, I thought that was really funny because sis said what she said. She was saying a whole lot of things that was in my head, like Naeem trying to say, I went home, no, boo boo. They was fixing to get ready to put the boot to that backside.
She said she was getting eliminated anyway.
And I was over here hashtag facts, sis.
Give him a peach. Give him a peach.
Give him a peach. Like I said, everybody thought we were all Zadia fans in the beginning, men and women. So the beginning has nothing to do with where we are now. We saw her for who she was, and you don't want to talk about who she is.
Do you think that Camille brought it out of her?
No, because I feel like they're both grown women. I think she made a conscious decision to be who she wanted to be. Because my thing is, if I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna act like I got some sense and act like I got some class, there's not another woman that I'm gonna run into that's gonna provoke me or to influence me to be anything other than my authentic self, anyone other than who I'm supposed to be.
Right.
If you're gonna be ratchet, sis, you're gonna have to be ratchet on your own.
Okay, but that's the thing. She did all Camille's dirty work.
Yes, and I never understood that. Like, she gonna clown and then you feel like you always gotta open your lips. No, sis, put your top and your bottom lip together.
Right. Camille literally let Zadia do all the dirty work and take a lot of the backlash, because every time you hear it, it's like Camille let it go and she apologized and she called me later. It was Zadia who was doing this. It was Zadia who was doing that. And I'm sitting here like, So she got her to go do her dirty work because she wanted to be up there and she wanted to fit in somewhere, because she realized that her connections wasn't real. First of all, Naeem only want her because she got a body. Let's just keep it 100.
Like the ex-girlfriend said, because she got that junk up in that trunk.
That's it. That's all.
I don't know. I just thought it was absolutely sad. At the end of the day, I think it boiled down to a whole jealousy thing, that Zadia saw somebody who was confident in who they were. She didn't come off as thirsty or pressed for anything. And you got mad because she allowed who she was as a woman and her authentic self to essentially speak for her. And because you weren't carrying the same heat, because you ain't had the same swagger and same sauce, you was feeling some type of way, sis.
And then I was sitting there thinking that, did Camille befriend Zadia because she knew that Cornelius was liking her?
She might have. That's an interesting thing. She got to keep an eye on it. Camille ain't finna let nobody get Cornelius, y'all.
Because remember, Zadia was one of the ones I think that was supposed to send him home, right?
Yeah, she ain't gonna let nobody get the last ghetto Jedi. She was not. She was not, honey. I said I can't with Camille. Camilla's team too much, honey. Team too much, and it's still lack of accountability for me. That's one of my biggest pet peeve. People who cannot take accountability for their actions.
That's the biggest point. And that's why I said that's what makes me so disappointed. Because
you cannot grow as a person if you don't have no accountability. You can't. How do you grow? How do you learn?
It's one thing to go up there and say to do something and not realize it's as bad as it is, and then watch it back and say, oh my God, I'm crazy. And to go up and take accountability and apologize for, what you may have done and right your wrongs, because we all make mistakes, right?
Right.
Like, we got to show each other grace. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we need to do is we have to first take accountability. The first step to recovery is to be able to admit that you are in that, you in the wrong.
Yes, and I'm glad, and I know a lot of people was like, I think, Aisha should have been given a chance to address what, Zadia had said about her being dense and dumb, and I almost agree with that. But the only reason I chose not to agree with that because I felt like Zadia did not deserve her energy. You're not worth my energy because the thing about it is she's not at a point, she's not at a place, she's not at a maturity level to be able to receive anything that you have to say. So why waste my breath? Why waste my energy?
That's a good point because I also wondered, did they even bring up the fact that she needed to apologize for to Aisha at the reunion at all, whether we saw it or not, right? Because
Right. I believe it would have been genuine anyway. I don't think it would have been genuine, but I think Aisha would have been open to her apology and would have been really receptive to her apology had it really come from a real and a genuine place and you owning up to what you did and like I said, again, being accountable for your actions, being accountable for your words, I think she would have received that apology. But since you're not ready to take accountability, and I don't think you 100% see the error of your ways, so therefore I feel like she need to keep her mouth closed, keep her mouth off folks. And again, Aisha is such a graceful woman and carries so much wisdom and poise about herself. Sis, you feel how you feel. I'm not finna entertain that.
girl, I love it. I love that unbothered feeling. Like, child, you're not about to bother me today.
Because we can tell people who are unbothered versus people who are trying to pretend to be unbothered. You had that stupid, goofy grin on your face trying to convince all of America that you wasn't bothered. Lies
Right.
and great deceit.
It was disgusting. I'm really low key annoyed with the way Ready to Love handled a lot of the situations at the reunion.
Yes. I
The
feel like this should have went home for putting our hands on folks. Like I said, we want men to respect us and respect our space. It goes both ways. And my thing is, like a lot of people said, had it been him, all hell would have broke loose.
what
Had it been him.
he's been locked up and everything.
And anything, she would have had to leave the show because you don't get to invade somebody else's space. Just because he's a man does not make it okay.
Yeah, and even though she got eliminated, I still think she shouldn't even have the chance to get eliminated.
I feel like that night they should say, get your hat, get your coat.
Wrap it on up.
Like Beyonce say, to the left, everything you own. In the box, go ahead and slide to the left, sis.
Yeah, we don't need this energy. Not at
That's
all.
not cool. That's not cool. That's not whack. You sit up there and disturb that man in his risotto because he said he didn't want to be with you. Where they do that at?
Girl, not his risotto.
That's it. And you know what? I don't fault the man. I got respect for the man just trying to sit there and enjoy him a good meal. You know what I'm saying? I like to eat. Now while I'm eating, don't be disrespectful. Don't be rude. Ugh.
She got all in her feelings, but then want to claim that she wasn't all in her feelings.
And I hate that Naeem didn't call her out for how she said, I was going to choose you. I was going to choose you. Uh-huh. But that's your girl. But you defending her. But she was going to choose Dante. But okay.
She definitely was going to choose Dante. And then Nahum sitting there looking like a fool, the fool that he is.
That was my whole thing. I'd have been side-eyeing her. I would be like, okay, so you're going to choose. So what's that about? You want to explain? You want to elaborate?
Exactly. But you know, he don't care.
He don't care. That Naeem, baby, that baby is special.
He don't care whatsoever. All he know is that he got him one of the baddest girls he probably will ever be able to get in his whole entire life because he just ain't it. Okay. And this is the best he gonna get, and he gonna get it, and he gonna stick with it. Okay, not realizing that all she doing is using him for clout, which is why right before she was like, we need to talk about our connection. We need to talk about what sis, you was about to send him home for that.
Yeah, we have a good time, and Naeem's so funny. He not. You lying.
Girl, we didn't care about your connection. That's why we was trying to move on.
You lying. All I say is, y'all, let us all pray for Naeem knows that he don't be next.
Child, Naeem is definitely next. As soon as Friday comes, it's over.
Guarantee you gonna tear that nose up, honey.
She gonna be like, the services are no longer needed.
Look, don't let us next time we see no pictures of him in the hospital somewhere with a Band-Aid on his nose because she ate him up.
No, she not even going to waste her time on him. She going to throw him straight to the curb and be like, I'm done. I don't
Yeah.
need them
Oh,
done.
child. I can't, honey. And I love to see her, but the audacity to get up with that god awful dress on. Honey,
And do it.
what did you go around in sachet in them curtain drapes? Put them folks curtains back up.
You shady. To
Folks
see
curtains back up. And
beautiful.
don't get me wrong, I love to see. I think she's gorgeous and she's thick. She got a body like whoa, for
But
real. That's one thing I said about her first day. But sis, that dress did you no justice. I think that's why I was sad because sis, you bad.
Mhm.
Underneath it, you bad, and I just feel like that dress was just a disservice. And then you had the audacity to sashay.
But this is why I was so confused by Tasia, because Tasia was just going off the stage talking about stuff. I don't have time for this. This is ghetto. We going through the back and forth, but then she was really ready to rip off Corey's head. Not only rip off Corey's head,
You won't get no attention.
but then she wanted to say around the stage and do a modeling act for us. And I was sitting here like, so wait, what's happening?
Attention, attention. If my mama's sick, I'm not coming to Ready to Love. They just gonna have to find me or whatever the case may be. I'm not coming.
No. Oh no. But I'm assuming that it probably wasn't as bad. She probably was just upset because it's like sometimes my mom would go to the hospital, she get blood transfusions, and
Yeah.
I know I may sometimes have a moment, but I know that she's okay.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe she knows that she's okay, but was just having a moment like my mom's in the hospital and I'm dealing with this. But child, I was sitting here like, Tasia, sit down.
Girl. But I see you have someone else coming in, and I want to hear what they have to say.
Hey, Romeo.
Hello, hi. I know I want to say hi. I'm not going to be long because I'm not a fan of the show. But the reason why I hopped on is because y'all funny. Like I'm like, I think I can bring some laughs too. The lady that was just on, she had me dead when she was saying the lady dress was a carpet or like.
Yeah, she said it was like a curtain. Did you see it though?
I seen like a
Like
clip. She had
yeah.
like a silvery
Yeah.
dress on and walking around holding it like how Portia did on the one reunion. I don't know. Okay, so how I found out about this show, my mom she was a hopeless romantic. Like she got me into Ready to Love. She got me into the show Black Love. She got me into Married at First Sight. So like a lot of these different shows, I got introduced to it through my mom. I still watch Married at First Sight. And that's a hot mess express that I will forever watch until they make me mad. But Ready to Love, I just from what me and my mom thought, it was just about like black love and black people coming together and showing that black people can actually find love and come together. But I forgot the last season I watched. It's a hot mess each season.
That's because more opportunities are coming on now.
True.
But I didn't start until the resort season. And that's like we don't even know what season that is, to be honest with you. I think that's like season 3 or whatever. So I started with the resort season, and I feel like from every time I've been watching, we've been having some opportunists, but I feel like it wasn't as bad in the resort season as it is now. And I honestly think they should go back to that format because we'll really get to see who these people are. And yeah, go ahead.
They should really with all these dating shows, y'all have to. I get it. They look for personality that's going to bring drama because as in the producer aspect, you don't want nobody that's just boring. You want some entertainment,
right?
But it's like if this car Ready to Love, it's really be like you said, people are on here for different reasons. Now, don't get me wrong. If anybody go on a doggone show, you going for the money. You going to be on TV. Let's not be naive and think that they're not going for that. But I don't know. They should change the name or something or cancel the show something.
No, I'm not going to say Ready to Love for the money because when the girls were talking last night, they said that they don't really make a lot of money. They just pay them for their time, basically. So I don't think they make a lot because they was like, I get more money from going to work. I think it's either exposure or really to find love, one or the other.
What? They don't get oh no. I'm sorry. They don't get enough money?
No.
Wow. So do the men get paid more than them?
No, they all get paid for their time because they're supposed to be like dating. And that's another reason why I think they took them out of the resort situation, because a lot of them, they paid them a little bit more if they could go to work, if they can't go to work. But they were
Mhm.
saying that they get more money from work. Like they were better off just going to work.
And then I remember, I don't know if it was which season it was, but it was this one couple. I remember every YouTuber doing lives and reviews. It was like they made up a story, or the woman said the guy. It was something. I forgot their names, but everybody had me cracking up because I forgot their names.
When?
It was on a Ready to Love season.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. What happened?
Dang. Okay, it was when it was a couple where, or am I talking about the wrong show? Okay, it was a couple where I guess they made up a plan to come on the show and something like that, and then the dude or both of them end up getting into it and exposing each other.
Oh, that was put a ring on it, right?
Oh,
I'm
look,
saying, like, what you talking about? That's
I
why
bet
we.
in the comments like he need to get off because he don't know what he's talking about. Don't drag me, y'all. I just want to come up here and say a little bit. But it was nice talking to you. I ain't gonna be long, but I'm gonna go back to the comments.
You know I love you, Romel.
All right, love you
Make sure
too.
y'all go check out Romel's channel, okay?
Yes, yes.
When you get back, you put your link in the chat.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay, bye.
This is why I was really thinking to myself, y'all, they really, really, really gotta. I really want them to go back to the resort. They gotta go back to the resort only because they will be able to really date more. Because for one, the cameras will always be there. Because when they're at their own homes and stuff, they can't go out and like date outside. Well, they shouldn't be going out to date outside of the house, okay? And then they'll be able to start to see who people really are for who they are right away. Because when you live with someone or when you're in someone's presence for a long amount of time, they can't keep their representative on for the longest. And it also gives them a way to be able to see how their connection with this person is if their connection with this person is the same way as someone else's connection. Like, does this person show me affection the same way they say the same way they show another contestant? I think they really need to go back to the resort, but I really feel like they don't want to pay the money. They don't want to actually pay the money for the resort again. They don't want to pay for the chef. They don't want to pay for they don't want to pay it. Stop being cheap. Stop being cheap and give us a whole show. Put them in the house. Y'all already making this like one of them dating shows anyway, when people got to get kicked out and eliminated. So y'all might as well put them in the house and make all of this make sense. Make it all make sense at the end of the day. The resort was a mess. The one was sneaking in the rooms. The resort but the resort really showed us everything. Like, I mean, it was a lot of stuff we didn't see to the reunion, but it showed us people character early. Like, you get to see how people behave. Like, you got to see Denise be jealous. You get to see different character traits in people that you normally wouldn't be able to see if you only interact with them and them only. Okay. I don't know if I would do a show like Ready to Love if I was single, because I'm not in the mind space to be able to date my man and know he's dating another woman and then we dating together like a whole thing. Like, that's just too much for me. And I have to agree with Camille on one of the things that she said, that you put people into this situation to date people and eliminate people, and you don't think that it's going to be drama. That's what the premises of the show is. And I'm like, no, that's not the premise of the show. And this is why all this stuff is unfolding. The premise of the show of eliminating people is so that everyone gets the chance to vet everyone, to figure out who's ready to love. That's it. And that's all. Like, keep it cute, right? Two Ellies. Keep it cute. Don't play with me. Y'all, click the link if you want to join. If you have anything to say about the interviews, if you have anything to say about the shows, if you have anything to say about the reviews, you can click the link. You can come in. You can chit chat with me for a little while, and if not, make sure y'all like this video. Like the video. Okay, if you're watching, I see 91 people. Please make sure that you are, liking the video. If you're watching and you don't want to comment, just leave me some yellow hearts. That lets me know that you're here and you're watching and you're enjoying. This way I could just know that you're here, okay? And it also helps the algorithm pick up the video and let people know, like, oh, people are watching this. Maybe you should go check it out, okay? So what else? I saw some questions in here that I may have missed. So if I didn't answer your question, drop it back in the chat. Y'all, I really don't have too much to say. I felt like I done said so much about this daggone show. These people driving me insane. Okay. And I'm really, really, really just so happy that the next season is starting. Did y'all see the cast for next season? This cast gonna be a little spicy. Next season cast is gonna be a little spicy. That's all I'm saying. And I'm waiting for, I don't want to say I'm waiting for the drama, but I know as soon as the daggone season start and the first person get eliminated, all HELL is gonna break loose and they're gonna start going haywire in the YouTube street. So I'm gonna be ready for a new set, a new tea. I'm glad we don't have a special because I really don't feel like trying to learn all these people names in one night. Like, I just can't do that. I don't want to learn, because a lot of that stuff in the beginning is so repetitive because we meeting them, they telling us about themselves, then they meeting each other, they telling each other about themselves. And I'm so glad we don't have a special. I just wish Married at First Sight would just take that note from Ready to Love and say, you know what, we don't really need a special. Do we know? Because they just wasting our time. We need 1 week of meditation before the new season begins. Doja, look, we've been trying, Deja, we really been trying to get a break, right? Every time I turn around, I'm sitting here like, I'm done with, I ain't gonna do no more Ready to Love, right? And then as soon as I turn around, somebody done said something they shouldn't have said. And I'm like, here I go, okay? Somebody done did something they should have done. And I'm like, here I go. Child, if it ain't one thing, Ready to Love gonna give you some content if you're a content creator. And that's on everything, okay? Married at First Sight need to show the weddings, then get straight to it. That's it. That's it. And we only need 2 hours for all the weddings. Stop with the foolishness. Just stop with the foolishness, okay? Let us see them how they see them when they first see them. And they be like, oh, or they be like, no, let us get that out the way. And then let's go straight to the honeymoon. We don't need that. Yes, girl, the new season for Ready to Love DMV is going to be lit. I know. I feel like it's going to be lit from the trailer. And I was like, well, and I think this cast is younger too. So y'all know whenever we get a young cast, you get a little spicy. But that also means you get a lot of drama, child. It's gonna be a whole mess. I'm seeing a lot of people touching, kissing in the hot tubs. It's a lot of physical, interactions going on. But hey, they grown, they can do whatever they want. No judgment over here. Yeah, I saw it already. They look whack. Not they look whack. Not they look whack. Married at First Sight need to be 90 minutes. It's really starting to drag out. Those 2 hours really be making me not want to do a review because I have to watch it over. And that's the worst part. Hey, Charlene. Hey. Okay, so anybody else want to join in? The link is pinned at the top. If you don't see the link, you could click the link and you can join in. And you can say your piece. When is the Zadia interview, y'all? So I can make sure that we are there because I need to see that. Let me check it out. Let me go up here real quick and see when it's gonna be. Does anyone know what time it's gonna be? Today is what's today, y'all? Hold on. Oh, it's not to the 27th. It's not till Thursday. So it's going to be Thursday at 6:00. Yeah, it's going to be Thursday. So you know what that means, right? That means that they trying to keep this, they trying to drag this out until the very, very end. To the very, very end. No, not February, January, like this Thursday. So they really trying to drag this out until the new show starts. I'm not doing it with them. Nope. I'm not going to be watching Nasty Zadia. You know what? I thought about not giving her my view, right? Because you know that adds to their head, makes their head swell. But I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for y'all so that if y'all don't want to watch, if anything happens or anything's being said that I feel like we need to talk about, at least I could come back and we could talk about it. But I'm doing it for y'all. I can only imagine the comments on his channel. Oh, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. Do not care about Zadia. Nope. But that's the thing, y'all. I hate that we have to actually be like, I don't care about a cast member. Okay. I know someone asked me how did I feel about Corey's interview. We talked about Corey's interview today and all his, lying and talking in circles and deflecting and then catching a little attitude because the Kamisha reviews was trying to understand what he was saying because he wasn't making no sense, okay? And he wasn't answering no questions. It's really one of those things where it's like he's rambling and just going and going and going and going. And you like, at this point, Corey, just be quiet, okay? The one thing that I think he wanted us all to know is that we don't know how it feels to have a man do a grand gesture for us, and we don't know how it feels to be treated good by a man, because that's all he wanted to do is treat women good, because 70% of the women, just like he wanted to give the analogy that if a class has 100 people in it and 70% failed, then that mean that class failed. So what he basically trying to say is that 70% of us women don't get treated well. Never had, well, I'm not gonna say don't get treated well, but never had anyone do anything for us, a grand gesture or anything romantic. And so he tried to do that for every woman. But his grand gestures are leaving notes by the pool so someone could walk around and pick them up, and making sure that people got mustard on their hot dog when they're hungry, and carving and humping on somebody on a log, and then carving their name in the tree. Those his grand gestures. Okay, so I'm just like, you was literally on top of me on that log. I'm not gonna forget about you humping her on that log, okay? He better put it in subscribers only or something. He gonna have to do something, child. He gonna have to do something, but it don't matter because even subscribers only, most of the subscribers are not on her side, regardless of what channel you watch. Okay, if I don't care if you are just watching my channel, or you're watching Kamisha reviews or Little Black Book, or you're watching Janice, or you're watching Misha, no matter who you're watching, and if you're watching all of us, no matter who you're watching, I think we're all pretty much in the same round when it comes to Zadia. Like, I don't think it's gonna be too many, people out in the comments like, yes, go Zadia, go girl, go. There's always a few, but I still don't feel like it'll be the majority. So I'm not even worried about that at all. I did not watch Corey's interview on my beautiful Black Queen Kamisha reviews. I would not did an interview with the clown face. He's a joke. He was a joke, and he tried to play in our face, a whole joke, and he did not look good. It looked good at all. Yes, us as subscribers still be cutting up in the chat. Exactly. Y'all know how to misbehave, chat. Y'all know how to misbehave. I want to master the art of not wanting to laugh in somebody's face so bad the way Kamisha did earlier. Because if I was reading the comments, there's no way. Even Crystal's a good at it too. Well, like reading the comments and interviewing someone and not being it and not really like showing in their face that they want to laugh or whatever, or they don't believe what they saying. Because child, I'd have laughed all up and through Corey's face. Like, Corey, calm down. Corey, sit down. Corey, you're doing too much. Like, no. Naive and Carmel. But y'all, I want to ask y'all a question. I didn't hear this. Okay. I didn't hear this before when I was doing my interviews, but in the chat with Corey's interview, they were saying that allegedly there's a video of Cornelius and Corey in the shower or in the bathroom or something like that. I don't know how true that is. I didn't see that part of the interview, I guess, because I had already I came in late because I honestly didn't really care about this girl. So I don't know, but if someone knows what that is and want to explain to me, they're more than welcome to come up and explain so I can know what's going on, or you can write it in the chat so I can read it. But I would rather you come up and talk so I can ask questions. But I just want to know what was all of that about, because I hadn't heard nothing about them two being in the bathroom while one of them was in the shower. Cornball was showering, Corey was outside the bathroom talking to each other, and Corey was inside the bathroom talking to each other. So they was inside so allegedly Cornelius was taking a shower and Corey just went in to have a conversation with him while he was showering. What were they talking about? That they needed to be in the shower, like in the bathroom together. How friendly are they? I don't know. It's sounding real. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. There's a lot of people who don't go in the bathrooms with people while they're showering, yet alone two men. So I don't know how that works. Like, I've had friends, if one of them is in the shower and we're getting ready to go out, and maybe I'm in the bathroom doing my hair while they're in the shower, or, putting on my makeup or something. But even then, it's hot and it's a lot of steam, so maybe not. I'm just trying to get a whole, visual of why this will be happening. Yes, I know what happened because I watched the whole interview on Little Black Book where Alexis was so good, girl, and she told the truth. I don't think it was I don't think it wasn't true. But the part when I came in, I wasn't feeling her energy. So I was like, I'm not really feeling this. And I was like, I need to go off. But you more than welcome, let me know what happened, because I feel like I missed some of that stuff. That could have waited. Corey is slow. Corey didn't even want to say that he took the pictures. Okay, he didn't even want to say he took the pictures. And I'm like, why you just can't say you took the pictures? If the girl said you took the pictures and then you got daggone Camille in the comments being a guard, keeping tabs to make sure he don't slip up and say anything. Okay, that's the only reason why she wanted to come in the closet, in the chat to say something, because she wanted to make sure that he didn't open his mouth and slip up and say anything. Because he part of that club too. She was defensive because she was reading the comments. Oh, so she was in her feelings. But that's what she wanted, right? She wanted a big platform so that a lot of people could see her and have comments and say what they want to say. So why was you defensive? This is what you wanted, so this is what you got, right? Okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't ever go in the bathroom with anyone, especially a woman, is showering. If my man, yeah, right. I don't even go in the bathroom when my husband's showering. I don't like to be hot, y'all. The steam in the bathroom is too much for me, so I don't even go in there. I don't go in the shower when my husband's showering. Same. And we don't even shower together, child, because I like to wash how I like to wash in the shower. I like to get it up and everywhere, okay? And I don't need him in my way, and I want all my hot water on me. So, so I don't even understand. Same. She had a lot of smoke, but I'm assuming it was because she's been getting a lot of backlash, and Camille threatened to sue her and reached out to the ex-husband. You know what? In our membership chat, I don't remember who said it, but that someone did say that they were that she's supposed to be suing her. Is that I'm gonna say alleged, but where y'all see this at? Where y'all is that what y'all got this from that interview? Child, I need to go back and watch the interview at this point. Oh, it's kind of over. I said I'm done with this. Nope. Y'all not gonna tempt me back over that way. Nope, I'm done. I'm done with this. I promise y'all. Listen to this, y'all. Kojo is hella mad at Corey because he was lying to him about the Alexa situation. Oh, I believe it. But what do you expect? People are going to lie to save face. People are going to lie to save face. It does not matter what platform you go on. People are going to lie to save face. Too bad she had to make faces for herself. He couldn't answer a simple question, yes or no. No, he could not. That's why I feel like anytime anybody interview Corey, they need to have straight questions that give straight answers. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, I don't know. Like, don't give me no Oh, I don't want to answer that. I only want to keep it positive. I only want to do that. Sir, we know we all want to keep it positive, but this is your time to clear up some of the allegations that are going on so that we can get a better understanding of what's going on. But by you saying that you don't want to get into any of the negativity, it's sounding like the whole situation is negative, and he was doing what he wasn't supposed to be doing. Because if he was doing what if you wasn't a part of the mess, and if it was no mess, and what Camille is saying is completely right, you would have got up there and said, no, they were not dating. I was there. We were all hanging out. We were all having fun. Yes, I took pictures, but it wasn't nothing like that. That's what he would have said if that was the case. But because it wasn't anything positive about the situation, he couldn't speak on it. He didn't want to speak on it, but that's okay because we figured it out ourselves at this point. Right, we like to get all up in the surfaces with showering. That's right. I like to get up in everything. Okay, I need all my hot water. I need all my soap. I like to, scrub it down. That's time to be in the shower with nobody taking up my space. Okay, or trying to see how I'm washing, what I'm washing. I'm nosy, so I'm going to look for the receipts myself. Camille trying to get a lawyer. Girl, Camille better go sit down. That's what Camille better go do. Sit down, Camille. You can't file a lawsuit on Cormill's behalf. Right. Because that's basically who she lying on. Well, that's basically who she would allegedly be lying on, right, Cormill? Corey told Kojo he did not take those pictures of Cornelius and Alex, and it was a lie because he was there and Cornelius' best homeboy. Alex had a video and hella pictures as proof. So that's why he jumped in the comments of the interview and said, Corey, you need to call me. Is that why he jumped in the comments and said that? Ooh. Ooh, child, who need interviews when it just who need to do their own interviews when you can just watch everybody else's show? Camille act like Cornmeal, her husband already. Exactly. She better go sit down, girl. He already cheating on you. If he cheating on you now, he gonna be cheating on you then. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Camille was asking for a lawyer in her IG stories. Camille, sit down. Girl, sit down. If that's the case, then someone else can can do the same thing to you for all the defamation that you done, pain and suffering that you done caused the whole cast. Yes, girl. That's ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous to me. Because I was wondering why he came in the comments and said that, but now it all makes sense. He was upset because Corey was lying. Oh, okay, that makes sense. How she gonna sue for character and the cameras get what you give? That's what I'm saying. He looked in the cameras and pointed and said, Corey, you need to call me. These interviews are more spicier than the season. Child, at least I'm with you on that. I guess it's always gonna be the interviews for me. As much as I keep saying, child, the interviews is ruining everything. I guess we need them. Carmel is Zach. Yes, Zach all over again. Alexis and Carmel was close on those photos too. It was giving this my man. Yup, he was hugging her up from the back. I saw it. Alexis, the funniest thing is this is what Camille's envisioned when she calls corn a country bumpkin. Say it again. Say it again. But the gag is this the gag though. The gag is that he let her do those things to him so that he can still make it to the end or, come off as a couple so that he can get his exposure and he can get on the Soul Train red carpet or whatever the case may be. So that's the gag. That's the real gag. No one deserved to be cheated on. Y'all so mean. B. Let me No one deserved to be cheated on. You're not even right, okay? Camille will be cheated on all up and through. That's the problem. Give up the tea. The show is trying to be innocent and ends up dry. Yep. With that ugly stained suit and girl. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Y'all, it's y'all for me. Okay. It's always gonna be y'all for me. Like I'd rather sit here and be able to drag who I want to drag. I'd rather sit here and be able to, kiki and hi and shade everybody with y'all than to be out there messing with these people who want to sit up here and act like they famous. Child, we ain't got time. But the link is in the chat if you want to come up and you want to, sound off, say anything to wrap up this season. Y'all didn't see Cornelia smiling when Courtney was talking though. When? At the reunion? You talking about the reunion? If you want to join there, you're more than welcome. Click the link. You don't have to show your face, but you can if you want to. What I was about to say. Hey, Michelle, thank you for the yellow hearts. I love me some hearts. Okay, y'all didn't. Okay, so I meant the whole cast members should sue those girls. If that's what that's. Listen, if we out here, I don't understand why why would they go on a reality TV show and then all of a sudden be so sensitive? Like, girl, go ahead. You can only sue if it's a lie. If it's not a lie, child, she ain't got no case. Because if homegirl got all the receipts, then how you got a case? He was allowed to smile. When was he allowed to smile? She gonna chase Camille through the Soul Trader Woods. Well, she said that she was blowing his phone up. I don't know, y'all. I'm tempted to go back and watch the interview from the beginning just to see what happened. But then I don't think I want to do it because if I go do it, then y'all gonna have me up here for coming back up here in like another half an hour ranting about that interview. And I don't feel like it. Okay, we keeping it light, we keeping it fun, we keeping it a little shady. Okay. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything. Unless somebody want to come up. If you don't want to come up, y'all got like another couple more minutes. If nobody pop up, we going to jump up off of here. Because I think that's all. I mean, we done Ready to Love done ran us down into the ground. Okay. With this season and everything that has been happening. And as a content creator, I can appreciate it. As a watcher, I can still appreciate it. Y'all know I love me some mess. Okay. I definitely love me some mess. I love me some love. I love all of it. So yes, hi Simone. Camilla is not suing anyone because Alexis said to her on the interview to bring it. Alex said that. Alex, I gotta go watch the interview. Alex said bring it. Rozzy, hey girl. I've been seeing you up here, but I'm just saying hey. Child, this interview must have been spicy. Why ain't nobody tell me I need to get over there and watch it? Y'all just let the days go by. Had me thinking it was the same old stuff that we had already broke down in the other video. I want to know the true tea with Shallow and why Phil interview got canceled and Phil be in this chat in these interviews. That's it. I almost forgot about that. Thank you. It's Ravika, right? Ravika, that's cute. That's different, but that's cute, and I like it. Okay, I want to know the true tea with Shallow and why Phil interview got canceled, and Phil be in these chats because I feel like if everything that's happening is true, they probably advising him to not say anything so that nothing he say will be held against him. Right? So that would make sense. So if you're in a court case or whatever the case may be, or allegedly whatever he got going on, for his best interest, it would make sense for him to not go up there and possibly say anything that could get him caught up or involved, right? Because even though he can say, don't ask me about this situation, if he even gets up there and say, oh, I'm dealing with this outside of, I'm dealing with this outside of the show, blah, 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 so I can't really speak on it, that's still going to be a whole bunch of stuff going up, So I'm really trying to figure out what's going on. He said somebody said something. Hold on. We caught Dante and Aisha watching interviews while she was on live in IG. It was in a live chat laughing. Aisha told him to turn it off. They'll watch it later. Right. And he was also in the background Sydney interview. Somebody said something in the chat about Shiloh, and he said chill to that person. Right. He not speaking on that at all. Yes, you did. She was clearly upset, but she claimed she was good. She said Camille kept sending her messages. I agree with what you said about Phil. That's what it sounded like. Like he can't speak, and they don't want him to get up and say anything. Courtney explained the entire Shallow Phil situation. Phil was in the chat telling her to chill and not speak on it. She wasn't reading the chat though. Oh, I didn't see him saying that, and I was in the chat. Oh no, I wasn't in Courtney's interview, so I didn't see that. Yes, Alex, yes, girl. Go watch the interview with Alex. It was all there and more. Hot tea. I'm gonna have to go watch this. Anything he said will be used. Right. Anything he said will be used. So to avoid anything happening, he can't do it. And I don't blame him because there's already too much stuff going on out here. And then you don't want him to be getting you don't want for the people in the actual comments to be like, we on your side, we got your bag, you don't worry about it. And then he get a little riled up or get a little excited, and then he feel like he may want to address something because the ego in him may get stroked a little bit, and sometimes you can't control yourself. So I guess he probably was like, nah, this not good for me. But Courtney was a witness, right, and told the story. I heard she told the story. Did the story sound like what we've been saying the whole time? Cause I can't keep up with all these interviews. Cause from the last time I broke it down, did anything change? Phil, Little Black Woman Anxiety Thursday. I want to see what kind of lies, excuses she gonna have. Girl, we know we already talked about that. She ain't gonna have nothing but a whole bunch of lies and excuses. No accountability. Okay. I didn't see him in the chat. Hey, Crystal, you want to come up and talk with us, girl? I didn't see him in the chat while she was talking. I didn't see that either. No, it's happened on Little Black Book Super Panel on Sunday, where all came together to discuss the reunion part 2. Oh, see, I didn't watch that. Sometimes I try not to watch too much content by other content creators because I don't like to get my view or my judgment swayed. Because sometimes if someone talks, like if someone's saying something, then it alters your judgment, and it is then my judgment won't be authentic. So I try not to watch too much content on different content creators until after I made my decision on how I feel about stuff, or I did my review and stuff like that, because I don't like actually being my ideas being swayed by other people. So if the show come on Friday and I don't put a review up until like Sunday, 9 times out of 10 I have not watched anything about it until after I put my review up, because I don't like my opinion being altered by someone else's. And then sometimes if you see that you may not have the most popular opinions on something, but everyone agrees with someone else, then it's like, oh, maybe I should change my mind. And I don't like that, because y'all know I'll be ready to tell y'all how I feel in a minute, whether y'all agree with me or not. I'd rather have my own thoughts. She gave a little bit more detail. Courtney sounded like she was pro. Crystal, can you come up here and tell us what the details was? Yes, girl, you gotta go see the whole interview with Alex. The tea was so hot. Courtney said Shallow was mad she found out Phil like Courtney. That's not hard to believe. Josh, how she know all of this? So what y'all telling me is that y'all need me to go over there and watch this? Is that what y'all telling me? Y'all giving me homework? That's, oh God. I'm still trying to figure out what is the basis of Shallow lawsuit. So allegedly, it's supposed that it's not against allegedly. Y'all know we gotta say allegedly out here in these YouTube streets. It's hot. The streets is hot. Okay. Allegedly, she's supposed to be suing for because they were supposedly protecting Phil, not necessarily I don't know if she's actually pressing charges or anything like that against Phil. She's supposed to be suing Ready to Love or own one or the other, or interchange with each other because she felt as though they was protecting him. I don't know what she felt as though she was protecting the men. Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't have any facts. I know what's was it just Jolanda? Just Jolanda told me to DM her because she could pull up the case if it's one out there. Maybe I should do that. Let me tell y'all something, and I'm being very transparent with y'all. I don't care. If this actually goes somewhere, I'm gonna be reporting live from Chloe Johnson's studio. Okay, in the in the case between blah 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 blah, I'm gonna be up here. Okay, y'all gonna get so tired of me, but I'm gonna give y'all step by step, blah blah blah. And if I lived in that area, child, I would be in the courtroom taking my notes for y'all, but I won't be in the courtroom. Okay, because I don't live there. But I'm just letting y'all know I will be covering the whole thing, new season or old season. Okay. I don't care. We 3 seasons away. I don't care. We 5 years from now. I'm covering this.
Then I don't have to drive.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think they can hear you because I can hear you.
Okay, good. So, I agree with you because I definitely think that Phil doesn't want to speak on it because he was actually there. So what Courtney was saying is that she was waiting in the car, and I'm the one of the ones that was definitely not. Oh well, Shiloh this, Shiloh that. I was saying, Phil has to hold some accountability for this because he was kind of double talking. He wasn't pulling a full Zach, but I feel like he wasn't giving her all the answers that she wanted, right? And so
Right.
now that we're hearing a lot more of the story, I just feel like hey, I was like, I'm one of the people's like, be honest. Just say, listen, I'm not feeling the same way you're feeling. But he just would not answer her question. Turns out she was super emotional. They had pre-gamed before going to the Rose Bar. So they had drank earlier in the night. And I guess there was an argument before they got there. And it just kept going and kept going and kept going. So hey L, hey two L's, how are you doing? Hey Miss Creator, hey my family's here.
Get in, girl.
So I'm, and I said, y'all, I guess I got to fall on my sword a little bit because it turns out that, and I knew she was very emotional, like she's very in tune with her emotions, and but then one thing that Courtney said is that she definitely thinks that the drinking played a part in it. And it was more than just him not answering the question.
Right.
And,
That's what we
go ahead.
all assumed.
Hey, Jeremy, what were you going to say? I didn't hear you.
I just said, I think that's what we all assumed, that, the alcohol had a lot to play with it.
And so here's my thing is, and I was really hold on to the fact that she's not like Azadia, like she's not like some quick to pop off. So I was like, I'm not going to just say this was all her. Everybody was like, oh no, she was this, she's that, but at the same time now, I was right, and I told you that. I said I'm falling on my sword a little bit, but I do still think that he was not answering her. But I was saying, listen, it just got frustrating that you could tell that Sydney came along and Phil wanted to play with his, for lack of a better word, shiny, Sydney's bringing another flavor, and he was interested in that. And all he had to do was be honest, and he wasn't being honest with her. So I was
maybe
like,
he just wasn't too sure, and he didn't want to tell her it's not you, and then he decided it is her.
So Chloe, though, that sounds like he wants to have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah, but it's a dating show.
True, it is a dating show, and that's why I had to fall on my sword with Shiloh, because I'm like, girl, it's a dating show. And it's from what Courtney said the other night, really cleared it up for me, is that if it is a dating show, it sounded like she got really upset. I don't know if y'all can hear my TV in the other room, but it sounds like she was upset that that he was still communicating with Sydney and she was already off the show. You're still communicating with people from the show. I'm like, why do you care? So
Right.
I hear y'all on that. I hear y'all that it's just it was she was just doing too much, and then she had the drinking, and she was upset about God knows what from earlier in the night, and it just carried on and carried on and carried on, and they had already started drinking at the house. So what was the killer was Courtney said, I guess they had walked off, and all of this whole whatever altercation, Courtney didn't actually see it because they had left. And Courtney said, "Go get her." So he goes to get her, and then I guess Shiloh called and said, you can go home, and just go to my house." And she's like, "No, we came together." And that's how I was always when I was going to the clubs with my friends. Listen, we came together, we're leaving together.
Right.
So that was the kicker with me too. I was like, if you're so upset that all of this happened, then why would you tell her to leave? You know. But now, if there are bruises, and if there are, like, I'm not a lawyer, that I have not seen any pictures, but you remember she did mention it on the show.
Yep. But we thought that she was talking about something from the past, though, right?
I thought it was bruises. I thought it was bruises from that night, and that was another reason that I was kind of riding for Shiloh a little bit too. I was like, is she meaning current bruises? And so they were like, no, she's talking about trauma, past trauma. I said, no, she said trauma. Talking to Tommy, she mentioned those bruises in another conversation. So to me,
because she said you don't have the bruises to show for it, and you don't know what it feels like to be in a situation where you can't remove your own, where you can't get out of, or something like that. So we all assumed that it was from the past that this all happened. Allegedly, y'all. Allegedly.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a lawyer, and if there are, and I have not seen these pictures. Excuse me. So with that being said, if one, I think that OWN is probably going to it doesn't matter if it's in the contract that y'all not supposed to hang out after the show and you still do it, then that's what you're doing. They're going to have to revamp this, because two, if it's after filming, it's not, if you're not on production grounds, how do you have, I don't know. How does she have those rights? So I don't know how she has that case, but that's not my business. I don't know. But also, if she does have bruises to show for it, then I don't know what she's claiming, that there was a manhunt. I don't know. If he just went too far, we don't know that.
I don't know either.
So, but yeah, so there is, and I was very much. She said on the camera that he did not physically harm her. Right. So you did not hurt me physically, just emotionally. And there was a lot of back and forth, like, and that's what Courtney said, that there was a lot of back and forth. There was just they were just going back and forth for a while. And so that's when I'm just like, if you're going back and forth, and then you walk off, to me, I'm like, listen, the conversation, to me, if it's Courtney's birthday, y'all are hanging out before you go out, you're already having a couple drinks, and you're already arguing. But that's just me, Crystal. I'm like, let's table this, let's have a good night, and I'll talk to you about it later.
Right.
Let's have a good
But
birthday.
she's pressing the issue. She sound real pressed.
Yes. Well, exactly. She sounded really pressed about it. And you're not going to change a man's mind. But at the same time, I don't think that she was having a rational conversation. It was the alcohol talking at that point. And it's so interesting, 2Ls, and y'all are in the chat as well, because something Walter said really got me. He said that he started boxing to help himself. He started boxing and training boxing to help himself. And he said that he felt like Shiloh did the same thing. She became an intimacy coach to help herself. And I was like, that's telling. But y'all know yeah. But so yeah, that I was like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, on what when Walter's interview, that struck me that she became an intimacy coach to help herself.
The child ain't work. It did not work. Hey,
Well,
Aisha.
and we all have triggers, but at the same time, he did say that to us. Yeah, he said, and I liked his comparison. Whatever he went through in his past, he became a boxer to help himself, and he did. He said that's what he felt. Shiloh, the why she became an intimacy coach to help herself. So, yep. So that means
Mm.
she
Hey,
wanted to go home with Phil. Do we know that, Rosie?
no, but I think that's just an assumption.
Okay. Well, because and I wonder, are you saying that because she told Courtney to leave?
Maybe. I mean, if you think about it, if she's telling her to leave, it's because she want to go home with him, because she know that she's probably drinking. You know, the alcohol start flowing, things start getting tingly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Tingly.
Deja, what you wanted to say?
Okay, I'm back. I didn't want to cut her off, but
Okay.
so I had a few more things to add just to make it make a little bit more sense. So watching Walter's interview, he mentioned that him and Shiloh had a really good connection, but he
Mhm.
noticed early on that she wasn't really emotionally stable, and that gave him pause to kind of like agree with her that he just wanted to be friends because he didn't want to add any more damage, and he felt like she needed some work to do. So
Mm.
that was one thing that stood out to me. It was like, if Walter can see this, I'm sure Phil can see this. And not to stick up for Phil, but to add a little bit more context to what Courtney said. So they were pre-gaming at Courtney's house because it was her birthday, and she mentioned to Shiloh that her and Phil were still friends, even though Courtney had already been voted off. So
Mhm.
Shiloh was questioning why, like, why is she still friends with Phil? Because that's Shiloh's connection. And so in the moment, Shiloh got upset and called Phil and was asking him, are you still friends with anybody on this show? And he's like, what are you talking about? He was just confused. And she asked him again, like, are you still friends with anybody on the show? Are you still friends with Courtney? And he said, yeah, me and Courtney cool. That's like little sis, like we cool.
Right.
And she got upset. They start arguing. And when they got off the phone, Shiloh was continuing to drink. They ended up getting in the car. And Courtney said that Shiloh was really upset still. And on the way to the club, Shiloh called Tyrone to meet them at the club. And she felt like she did that to make Phil upset or jealous. So when they got to the club, when Phil got there, they got into it again. It was just arguing, but she said that Phil was actually really calm, and it was just mainly Shiloh and her feelings. They continued to drink at the club, and when it was time to leave, it was really late, but it was also raining outside. They got in Courtney's car, but Shiloh walked off.
Mm-hmm.
And Courtney's the one who told him to go get her. So when he went to go get her, Shiloh sent Courtney a text telling her, I'm good. Go ahead. I'll meet you back at the crib. Like, go ahead. And that's when Courtney was like, nah, we came together. We leaving together.
Right.
And so apparently Phil brought her back, but there was no mention of like any type of, physical abuse or anything like that. And I also remember him saying, or Shiloh admitting that it wasn't physical. She was emotionally hurt. She wasn't physically, because Tommy made it clear. I think he wanted to clarify that on camera so that we can understand that it wasn't physical abuse.
Yep.
So I just wanted to
That's
clear the air.
that's true, and I know all of that is true except for two parts. They were pre-gaming at Shiloh's house, and she didn't call Phil. She didn't say that to invite Tyrone to make her jealous, to make anybody jealous, because she's like, Tyrone's my little brother. I didn't invite I didn't invite him at first, but absolutely Tyrone can come. No problem. So there was no jealousy on Tyrone to bring Tyrone. Yeah, there was no jealousy on that part. But the rest, that is all of that. Yeah, she was sitting in the car because it did start to rain, and then she's left. She walked off, but they kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she said, "Go get her," because she started to walk off. And that's when. And one other thing that only Walter said. He said that Phil said he felt like he remembered Phil saying he thought he saw two guys down the alley. He thought he saw two guys down there. He said he may not have been, there may not have been true, and that's true. Like if I see something down the street and I'm not sure, but he's like, I think I see two. Like, don't go that way. So
Right.
he thought he did see two people down there. He wasn't sure, but he definitely wanted to turn her around. So yeah.
There's plenty of places in California. Like I live in California,
Yeah.
and everybody thinks that LA is like beautiful, but I live in Northern California, close to the Bay Area. There's plenty of places I would never walk down in the middle of the night.
Girl,
And
I'm
if a
originally
man
from
says
California.
he wouldn't even walk down it, like that just goes to show he's seeing something we ain't seeing. Because
Don't go
I
down
can
there.
agree, like as a woman, we get a little bit in our feelings when we end up, arguing with our man and may act a little irrational and walk away or whatever. But at the end of the day, do we want the protector that we say we want? Like,
Okay.
Right. And
Well, I
well,
live in Irvington, New Jersey. I ain't going outside, period.
right. And I'm originally from California too. And I may not live there now, but yeah, don't go down there. Like there's a lot of parts that are you just don't go down there. And just the fact that she was really emotional and in her feelings and it started raining, all of these things. And to me, the argument started a long time beforehand. And you just wanted to go back and forth, which was really weird to me that she cared if she said, "Oh, I'm gonna invite Phil," and "Oh, you're still friends with the people," and why would you care? I just think that's strange. They all hung out. Yeah.
well, we also have to realize a lot of the people, a lot of the cast interviews, majority of them mentioned that Shiloh was in the middle of drama. Like she was kind of the one instigating and like stirring the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna say what is interesting. I actually don't think that she was like the one in the middle of it. I do think it was freaking frack. I do think it was the other two, but she was kind of, when you're guilty by association, like they're really putting Mumin in the with the rest of them. But Phil said that, or not Phil, what's his name? Walter, he was like, I talked to Shiloh all the time. Like she and I were good friends. Like we were really close friends. And she confided in me what happened and said, "Don't say anything." And then she goes and says that, "Oh no, I told Walter. He was the first person I told." I was like, "Why would you tell this man not to say anything and then basically throw him under the bus?" I was like, "Why?" Yeah, all those little things.
But Shiloh also was defending Zadia on her Instagram post, in a Instagram story. Because I told y'all I go and look for receipts myself. I need to see if they're saying something. I want to go see for myself. And I went and Shiloh was defending what Zadia said. She was like, Zadia said what she said, and people have the right to have their own or tell their own truth and things like that. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Shiloh's water ain't too clean.
I'm not saying it is. I do think that there was, like I said, after seeing a lot of this, I did backtrack a little bit because this is ridiculous. As a woman, and as y'all said, if we want them to be our protector, at some point she should have just stopped. She should have just stopped and said, "This is my girl's birthday." Like they were supposed to be really close. Apparently, her and Courtney were best friends up until this. So this is my girl's birthday. I'm just gonna table this until I'm sober.
Walter said that they were having a lot of the cast members were having sex too. He said that.
He insinuating that a lot of them were doing things off camera that we don't get to see. But Walter's also the maintenance man. He calls himself the maintenance man. So, well, he don't call himself. He just says he needs maintenance. We call him the maintenance man. But I can't really trust too much of what he say.
Girl.
Yeah, but
you know what? As far as having sex on the show, like that doesn't surprise me because not last night, with what was a previous cast with Vernisha and the other ones, they admitted to that too. So that's not necessarily surprising to me. It was the fact that he just did not get it when we're trying to say, okay, it's not right. But if you're doing that with the current cast, that's one thing. But you're just inviting somebody else because you need maintenance. Come on now, bro.
But that's part of the problem, right? Because they shouldn't be together outside of filming, period, to even have sex, unless they had sex with the cameras.
But that was also Aisha's defense. Like, she went through the process and was real to the process because she didn't meet up with anyone, didn't make friends with anyone while filming was going on. Like, she followed the rules.
That. I really appreciated her. Yeah, I like her a lot. Like, she really held on to what she really wanted to do and what she wanted to accomplish. Like, in all aspects. Like, nobody could get her phone number, nobody could get her Instagram, nothing. She was just like, nope, I'm gonna, hold on to the process, and that's it. I appreciate it.
And she got her man, so it worked out.
Mm-hmm. If we're being honest, though, the lengths that Zadia went, like, you could be in your feelings, but it's a reason why you're in your feelings that deep, and it's possible. I'm just saying, it's possible that her and Dante might have did a little something.
So that's what everybody's wondering. I feel like maybe he did. I wouldn't put it past him. I feel like as attached as she was, I can see it.
So I have this question. As soon as old girl did that country bumpkin thing, that whole scene, and I watched that when it happened, I said, are they having sex? Like, immediately, for her to say that to him and get that in her feelings after what, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and then for him to just, and again, it sounds like he's a very nice guy, but not to at least say, don't talk to me like that. They just laugh and smile. But now the guys were very conscious of the cameras, but still, she just felt very comfortable doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? So immediately I said, are they having
sex? We all was trying to figure out, because we was like, she's too emotionally attached.
Right.
The same thing that we said about Zadia, because like, why was she so, upset? Like, we trying to figure out, like, you this upset over, someone not wanting to continue dating you or not giving you an answer, that you want to cause a whole scene for what? And that's what she's doing. She's making a whole scene. She's making a whole case because she wasn't picked. Like, girl, how old are you? Are you an intimacy coach? And I don't think that I'm going to say this. I honestly feel like, I don't know where she went to school to be a coach, or if she just self-studied or whatever the case may be, but it's not giving what it's supposed to give at all. Okay. It's just not.
To take it back to Walter, though, in my opinion, I just feel like, if we're being real, most guys that I know, this could just be me, this may be a California thing, but most guys that I know are not cutting off any of their options until they actually settle down with the one. And I think that's what Walter was trying to get at, was like, I'm not going to go around and sleep with everyone. I'm going to sleep with the one person I'm comfortable with and who I've been sleeping with until I actually find the one, or find someone who I'm ready to take it to the next level with. But I don't think Sabrina was willing to be the maintenance woman, and Mumin definitely wasn't.
And so this is what I said. I don't disagree with you. Like, dating is different for me for now and everything, and especially in California, because like I said, I'm from there, and it is definitely very different. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, and this is what I said on my show with Misha, is that when we reviewed it, even if that's what he's thinking, that doesn't mean that the person that you're talking to and the person that you're trying to court and develop a relationship with and an emotional connection with is okay with that. It doesn't mean that she feels the same way. So even if that's how he rolls, that don't mean that Mumin and Zadia are okay with that. So to me, or the next girl is okay with that. So to me, yeah, he can. That's how he's that's how he's moving. That doesn't mean that that's okay with that's going to be okay with Zadia. What's her name? Sabrina. And besides that, then that means that he's definitely not good with Mumin.
Right. I honestly, I just feel like some of these castmates or cast members just shouldn't have been on this show. But a lot of them in their interviews were saying that they were approached by production or someone that knew someone. Mm-hmm. And so they're not really good candidates because they're not the ones actually going through the application process. They're not the ones that are interested in being on the show. They're being, they're the ones that's being sought after.
I will agree with you on that. And because I think Sabrina is the only one that I've actually that actually applied for the show. Aisha, I thought that somebody told her about the show. Walter, definitely somebody told her about the show. I feel like Corey, somebody told him about the show. I don't know about Shiloh, but to me, I look at Mumin and I'm like, and I think somebody told her about the show as well. I'm like, this is not the show for you. I don't think Shiloh either. This is not the show for her. This is just not the way to find a relationship for Shiloh. For several of them.
Between Corey coming on Ready to Love to learn how to date, I'm done. I'm done with the intentions of it all. Okay. Simone said she heard
how good was.
Hold on, what you say?
I was gonna say, how good was that cycle? Whatever the type of test they had to go through
Girl,
to.
I don't think they did a good job, okay, because some ain't all the way screwed in with Corey.
I have the same question because they say that they do the psychoanalyst, and they have that 500 question test, and then they speak to a psychoanalyst. They speak to somebody for about an hour and a half, or well, it depends. Some of them said it was 40 minutes. Some of them said it was an hour and a half, right? But how good is that test? Because they do the same test for MAVs.
It's not good.
I was just about to say it must be the same people from MAVs, because I don't see how these people skated past them.
I think they need to revamp the test for the newer days.
Listen, all they need is us up there. We can pick them out real quick.
Let me tell you, child, I could look at you and be like, nope.
Right.
Well, I want to hear from Camille's 3 ex-fiancés. I want to hear the truth from Cornelius's ex. Like, these are the people we need to be talking to.
And we don't know how long ago these exes were. And I remember, and I kept saying this on my show with Misha, and I was like, with Liz, he was a guy from, what was it, last season? This last season. They dated in college, which was 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. They dated and they realized that they weren't good. So these aren't recent exes. So just like Walter's
real exes.
Right.
Walter, that was
Walter's ex wasn't really an ex.
She was just part of his parties.
Right. Cornelius's ex probably wasn't, or if she was an ex, could have been years ago. So we don't know if that wasn't really truly an ex.
I hate to sound like I keep caping for Walter. I'm really not. I wasn't a fan of him, especially after his interview. But what I can say is, like, him saying that he couldn't really get an ex to agree, or it was last minute. I don't know about the last minute part. But if I think about my exes, there's an ex that I absolutely would never, ever even reach out to. So there's one. He gets eliminated. There's another ex who's in a happy relationship. I don't want to, pull him away from that to be on television.
Right.
So it's just like, how many exes are there? And then are they available in that way?
But I don't understand why we mean exes anyway. I feel like that's not a good way to get to know someone. Because that person, even if you dated that person 10 years ago, you're still not the same person you were 10 years ago.
Right. That's what I'm saying with this 15, 20 years ago. Like, why would you? But I agree with you on that. Walter did break down, like he said, there's 2 exes that I wouldn't have even invited. And she is somebody that I did hang out with, but she's not really an ex. Like, they did have a situationship or relationship. So I'm not... I understand why I understand why he invited her. I don't knock him for that. Yeah. And she wanted to build her brand like she did. And he said she got on the plane the next day. They called her on Thursday and she was there on Friday. So I can't believe it.
She wanted to clip clap them nails. That's why.
Right. And you know what? I like Walter. You know what the funny thing is? Listening to Walter's story, he's originally from California, and being in that gang life, and that his friends saying, "No, this ain't for you. Get out the car." I totally understood everything he said. I'm from DVC. Like, I get it. I understood. I said, "Oh, that's why." Like,
I just hope they do away with the exes this season. I feel like that's a pointless interaction. I feel like that's so pointless of an interaction that we don't need it. Like, there's so many other people that these people could meet that we don't need to meet their exes. Because, like I told y'all, all my exes is dead. They don't exist. I don't even know them. Okay?
Right. I don't know them. I don't know them at all. I couldn't pick them out of the lineup or nothing.
Right. Exes. Who had exes? I never had no exes. I don't know what that sound like.
And you do have a point. Like if I'm just meeting you for what is it, 8 weeks? Why do I need to even meet your exes right now? Like 8 weeks, and I still question the meeting of the family. I'm not even sure that I would want you to meet my family after 2 months. Yeah, I think that's that might be too soon to meet my family too.
You know
You
who's
know?
been interesting to see? Well, two things. What do you guys think about? I keep comparing for some reason Frank to Ron from last season. They remind me of each other so
They do
much,
a little bit.
especially with their interviews. They just skate over answering the question. They can never have a direct answer. I don't know what it is, but those two.
I actually did not mind um uh what's his name, Frank's interview. I did not mind Frank's interview at all. It did give me some insight into him, and I actually think that the BGS crew really affected him getting to know Mumin as well. I didn't mind it. Ron's interview and David, the one that stood up on Liz, their interviews were very similar to me. Their interviews were just yeah. And Corey's interviews in a class by itself. So he just yeah.
I have another question. I'm sorry, Chloe. I don't want to be taking over your live.
Chloe took a phone call. No, just joking.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
So I have a question. If you could bring back, I probably ask this all the time, but if you could bring back any of the old castmates for another Ready to Love, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Now I didn't see first season 1, but the ones I liked, after seeing Tressa's interview, I really liked her. And there was you know what? I'd like to see more Libba. As far as the guys are concerned.
Denise. Somebody say Denise.
Oh, no.
What is shade?
But wait, did y'all see that Denise and what is her name? Camille. Yeah,
the energy, all of the energy together said nope.
They're the same person. They're the same person. Denise came back.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really don't care to see anybody. I mean, I have grown a liking to Stacey V, and I think that's just because I love me some Stacey now. And during the season, I kind of dragged Stacey, so I apologize, Stacey. Okay, but anyway, y'all know I go off for the show, not by what I know about the people. But I enjoy seeing Stacey. But honestly, it's too many people trying to keep up with. Like,
you know who would actually make a good couple? Edwin and Shiloh. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking Edwin and Shiloh because they're both really. I don't know if that's a good thing to say. They're both really emotional.
No, do not do that to my Edwin.
Not Edwin.
You know what? You know what? He's who I'd want to bring back. I would like to see him. I really, and you're right. I loved me some Edwin. I don't necessarily, the salt and pepper hair. I feel like just talking to him, and my father's and stepfather's ex-military. I just liked him a lot, and now he's in the
right.
What about Libba and Carrie? We didn't see enough of them.
I would love to see more of them.
I like it.
You're talking about coming back to the show, right? Not like more like TV stuff, like more like
just I guess a new season, like a whole new season of like all stars that didn't really get a chance to love.
And here's the thing,
Chad.
Go ahead, Chloe.
These people, y'all don't understand. These people wear me out. So I feel like, no, just give me new people every time because I don't want to go back.
Well, here's the thing. What frustrates me about the show is that they really cut a lot too. And I know, people, they only edit what you give them, but also they edit the good stuff too. Like Libba, she's a cancer survivor. She, like, there's just so much to her story. She is a professor. Like, there's so much to her story that we didn't know on the show. So now seeing her after, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many layers that they didn't even show.
They should bring back anyone who got kicked off in the first 2 episodes.
I agree.
I would actually, So here's the funny thing is, like you just said something, Lamont, what they did, so talking about cutting, they only showed his spoken word, but what you don't know is that Aisha did a spoken word and his was kind of, now I'm not saying that his was good, but his was a rebuttal to hers. But they cut Aisha's and they kept his.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
So I was like, that type of stuff is what frustrates me. Why didn't you just show both and still let him go and be like, okay, what was that? Or something. And
Right.
okay, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say they didn't show a lot of stuff. Like when Corey said that he showed up to the retreat to surprise Mumin. I
Yeah.
said, why wouldn't they show that? I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a really grand gesture. Now that's a grand
Mhm,
gesture. You're not on the show no more. You really like this girl. You want to really try to get her before somebody else get her. Now that
mhm.
I would have loved to see.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny? And I was putting this in the chat, but that chat was going so quick earlier, and I was like, I ran to get lunch and came back, and y'all still talking. So I was like, yeah. But what was funny? And somebody put Naya. I actually really liked her in the beginning, but
Naya already had her men lined up in the land.
right. With Corey, it's so funny. And this is what I was saying. It's not what he did, it's how he did it. If a man brought me roses and put a note on each rose, that would be really special. And that would be really sweet, right? But the fact is, you did it in front of how you did it, how you presented it to everybody, or just have notes all around, but you have two other connections. Like I don't mind him doing that to Courtney, doing that, for her, but you also are is the cut and paste aspect. And yes, you're saying that I just said that as a funny gesture, the cut and paste thing, and now it's part of my whole shtick. But seriously, it's how you're going about it. You're not it's not genuine, and it's not to me as an individual. Find out what I like. And he did actually say that he did that. He said, I set up a whole thing with a massage table and this, that, and the other. But still, it doesn't sound like it's about the woman anymore. It's just about you're doing it for yourself and not for the woman. And I said, gosh, I don't mind him doing it. I think that those are really sweet gestures, but it's how he was going about it that was just, and I don't know that he'll understand it. I
I
don't know.
don't I don't even dissect Corey like that because I don't know. I don't give him a pass, but I just don't really pay too much attention to him because for whatever reason, I just feel like he's not all the way there. Not
You
even trying to
know,
be mean, but there is
mm-mm.
just something about him that is not it just doesn't click. Like it's not normal.
That's what they were saying in another show that I'm a part of. That they were saying that they don't know that it's Asperger's. They don't know what it is, but that he just doesn't understand social cues. I don't know what it is, and I'm not a lawyer or a doctor, so I'm not trying to put the man down. But is there something that's just that he's just not getting it when people are trying to explain it to him? You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not trying. I actually, and the
I
weird thing is, he's very handsome. He actually reminds me of an actor, Kevin Richardson, that was on Dreamgirls. Very handsome. So,
I would say that I think Corey knows exactly what he's doing.
really, okay,
Absolutely. I mean, probably not with like the grand gestures, but I mean like the way he talks, the way he's thinking, the things he's saying. He's doing all of this on purpose. And I picked it up in Kamisha Reviews live because he was sitting there and he was just like no, I came up here because I wanted to have fun and I wanted to entertain and I wanted blah, 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 blah. So he really was trying to spin this narrative that he wants to be so positive. He wants to keep this energetic. He wants to keep his life. He want to have fun. He didn't want to answer any questions. So he deflected from a lot and he was dragging out stories that literally I could explain to you in a half a second that took him 20 minutes each time.
hmm,
And everything that he was saying, he had already said over and over and over again. Okay.
yeah,
He said nothing new. There was not one thing that he said. Like, if you listen to it, everything was repetitive. And like, he couldn't get a straight answer out. And I think he was doing it on purpose because even when Kamisha was trying to end the interview, he then read another comment and was like,
he
oh, by
did.
you not saying you was there, it's saying that you was there. Ha 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 ha. Oh my God, that was so funny. See, that's what I'm saying. I like stuff like that. That's so funny. Corey wants people to feel like maybe he's not, so that you could have some type of sympathy for him. But that's not the case. Okay. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not buying this whole maybe he's not 100. He probably not. I mean, some of the stuff, some of the things he say, or some of the it seems like he may think a little off, and that's okay, because his idea of dating is weird, right?
Mhm.
But when it comes to his tactics, like his antics, he knows what he's doing.
So I don't dispute what you're saying, and it's so funny because he definitely did that. But if this is you and you want to be this man and this grand gestures and everything, then be honest. And I hear what you're saying, and Misha was saying something along the same lines the other night, because she said, why didn't he just be honest? And he's him trying to deflect when he was trying to talk to Courtney, or even when he was talking to Mumin, and say, well, did I say that? Or
Right.
So I hear what you're saying on that.
Yeah, he definitely, because he was like, what did I lie about? I
Right.
didn't lie. What did I lie about? Because I didn't answer it the way you wanted me to answer it. That doesn't mean that I lied. That just means that you didn't get the answer you were looking for. And that's what I'm saying. This man knows exactly what he's doing, because when he sat up there and he was trying to, deflate, he was trying to deflect the situation. When Moline said, "Did you leave the notes?" or whatever the case may be, he was like, don't worry about that. Just worry about us right now."
Yes.
So technically, did he lie? No, but was he, trying to, deflect from it? Absolutely. Corey's not crazy. Corey knows what he's doing. He wants us to believe that, maybe it's that whole little sympathy thing that Camille tried to bring out. Oh, see, what I realized is that Corey just thinks differently about things, and he sees things differently. Yeah, whatever, Camille. You just don't want him to go up there and spill the tea about Cornelius and Alex, or whatever the girl name is. So we already know what you want. Okay, this ain't never had. That's why I was sitting here like, I'm not buying it. And then for him to just bust out in tears, yeah, maybe he does love his mama. Okay, maybe he just realized he loved his mama. But boy, bye. Because that's what his excuse for was crying, was like, after hearing like how, the grand gestures of everything. I realized first he said, and y'all know I gotta wrap stuff up in my brain, and now it hit me. He said that his father used to buy his mother flowers for no reason, right? Then he turned around and said that his father never did those type of things for his mother, so that's why he started doing it for her. Y'all caught that?
I caught the first part. I didn't hear the second part, though.
He said the second part. He said that's why he started crying, because he realized how much he loved his mother, and that's why he do the things that he do for women, because a lot of women have never had that, have never had a man do these things for them, so that's why he do it. This is why I was like, something about this not adding up. First it was, my father was buying my mother flowers, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. He sees that stuff. Then he turned around and said, oh, I used to do those things for my father because my father wasn't romantic and he didn't do stuff like that. Go play it back. It's a lot of stuff in there that is holding substance, so it's hard to miss certain stuff because he's rambling. But
yeah, you're right, though. There was a lot that I was like,
he said it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying he definitely said that, and that's why I say, oh, it just came back to me because, he think we was born yesterday, and he literally sitting here playing in our face, and that's basically all that came down to.
No, you're right about the rambling, because I was in my car and I was driving. I was like, get to the point. She asked you the question, and just answer the question. So I was in there like, just answer the question. So yeah, he just starts rambling, and then you miss that second part. Rosie, y'all, some of them missed it in the chat too. It's like definitely heard the beginning that my father used to bring, do these grand gestures for my mother, but I didn't hear that second part. So you're right.
All I'm gonna say on that is I just want to see his medical records. That's it.
Well, you know what?
No, Joe.
I agree with you, but also one of my last questions, and he didn't answer it, was I was like, is he mentoring young boys? Are you like teaching kids or men your ways? I'm like nervous about that. Like, what are you doing?
If he is doing that, which would make even more sense as to why he knows exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody also said in the other LBB shows that on LBB 91 is that he kind of has this not warped sense, but like that women he wants women to be like in the kitchen. He has this idea that just very antiquated view of women and his wife, that they need to be in the kitchen. They need to be just an antiquated view of women. So, and they lit him up when they did a game night, and it was boys against girls. And I said, oh, so he's this first date person that does all of these things, and he has this idea of women. So that's double. So yeah, I'm actually very tempted to interview him and just change, just ask him some different questions. Also, like if he is writing a script on First Date King, I kind of want to see this script. I kind of want. I'll be honest, because I'm a producer. I'm like,
But
No.
you know what they say? Sometimes when people have like I'm trying to be really careful with not like diagnosing him and things like that. But when people don't really have the same type of senses that the majority have, some of them are geniuses. So when it comes to like just being really creative and passionate about their work, they're really, really good at that.
That's
I'm
true.
also curious to know Tassia's reasonings for dealing with him. Because in her interview, she was very level-minded, and she seemed like or level-headed, I'm sorry. And she seemed like she was very self-aware.
oh
But if
yeah.
you know that much about yourself and you're that confident, what is it about Corey that had you acting like that on the couch?
No, okay, well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chloe.
I would say this, because like Corey was trying to justify, okay, a lot of women aren't used to a lot of the nice, sweet things that a lot of guys do for them because they only do it for certain women. Right. So if you think about the time where he brought Courtney the flowers and we was like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, right. And then you think about like, just some of the things that the gestures he's doing. We don't know what he was doing for Tasia, like he even said one time, he said, I knew, she told me she was hungry and I knew how she wanted her hot dog. So I went and got it with just mustard just for her because she said she was hungry. I made sure she ate first. So like he does things that shows that you would think is showing, oh, he actually is listening to me. Oh, he actually cares. He's really, he's one of those guys who does things. And for us, a lot of women, a lot of our love language is acts of service, right? So we like when people do things for us. And I think that could have been something that she just was, smitten by. And that's not normal. Like usually when guys are trying to win you over and they do sweet and nice things for you, it makes them look at you in a different way. Like, oh, that was sweet. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I kind of like him. And so she probably was falling into that trap, just like we saw Mumin doing, just like we saw Courtney doing. It wasn't until they all sat down and started talking together that it became a problem. If they would have never had that talk, they all would have been like, oh, I think I like Corey. After talking to him and, Dylan, he's a sweet guy. Remember they all were saying that. She wasn't the only one. So I don't see how it's hard for her to like, getting smitten by him.
And I think a lot of the stuff that he was doing will work when cameras are not involved. Like that's how people are able to get away with dating like that or dating multiple women in real life. It's because there's not a camera following them around. But the fact that they're all in communication with each other and some in competition, that makes it for a really ugly and you can't tell me that he didn't bust Mamin's tires to go back and fix them himself. So she
I don't know about that, but I do think that, as you were saying, Chloe, he likes all these grand gestures, but he also wants the recognition. He's doing it so you can say, "Oh, look what Corey did for me." He wants what is it called? If your love language is acts of service, he wants that pat on the back. He wants
absolutely.
That's what I really think, that he wants people to look at him and say. So I agree that Tassia is very, not just level-headed, she's very smart. She's about her business. I really like Tassia. But I also think that that's what it is. He has this first date thing. Like he knows how to pull them, but does he know how to keep them? And that's what's because like even when she gave him the date, the "you're not ready to love" date, I said she was the wrong person to sit down with him, but because he was just a little too forward, he was just a little too handsy, a little too grabby, right? But I think that affection and that interest that he showed her, that grabbed her and that gave her showed interest. But then her seeing all this, because she was the one that called Mumin and told Mumin that he's the one that put the notes everywhere for Courtney. Because Tassia is the one that called Mumin and told her.
Oh, you're right, Crystal. I remember in the interview, I was like in a review, I was like, I was like, to see it messy. I wonder why she called her and said that. And now it makes sense. She called and said that because she was dealing with him too.
Mm.
Oh,
We didn't know that because I remember
right. We didn't know that
Right.
at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was sad that I said to see it messy. I wonder why she gonna call her and tell her that he was the one who did that. Because she was the third piece of the triangle that nobody knew about.
But and I agree with her though. Why keep me under wraps though? And here's the thing. And I thought that one of the ladies said the other night that he doesn't like, because she's not like heavy, like she's got body, like she's a thick girl, but she's a very beautiful girl. Like if he has an issue with her, so, like why are you keeping her under wraps? Why, if you've got three interests, then why not make her an interest? You know?
Well, the way he put it was that he can't control what production shows. He said he can't control what production shows, and I think that's why I think it did have something to do with him not vocalizing it as much as he vocalized about Courtney and as much as he vocalized about Mumin, right? So I think that's why they focused on them two more, because he didn't vocalize it. Whenever you have, I guess they go by like what you're talking about or what they seen happen, and because he probably was downplaying it, they never thought to show it, which is why she was upset on that couch.
Now, he does have a little bit of a point. That is true that some of these dates that if they don't feel like there's a story there, or if they don't want to push the story forward, then they won't show it. Just like Walter had a date with Zadia at the nail salon, but it was just the one little nail salon date and they didn't push it forward. But there were other connections. I remember Tressa said she had a date with Chris, Mr. Semen Retention, but they didn't show it. So if they don't want to show it, then they don't. But he also didn't speak up about it either.
I was about to say that it's not so much of production. It's literally when she's asking you, why aren't you, talking about me or claiming me or whatever it was, he just started lying. And even Phil and them got upset and kind of checked him, like, I was sticking up for you, but you're lying. Like, make that make sense.
That's why he wants to sit there and do them fake tears so people can feel sympathy for him. It's an act. Corey know what he's doing.
Yep.
Oh, I just touched the chat and someone said Frank and Zadia went on a date. Nobody knew that. But also that might be the reason why Frank was so like, he was not feeling Zadia. Yeah. And he kept trying to warn them about her. So she might have showed him some signs early on.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. I don't know.
And you know what's so funny is this season, the cattiness was just epic. Like even that there were some other, like last season, it was a little bit of that, but not to this degree. Like Last Resort, we had Denise did not like, what's her name, Adriana, but I feel like that was the only thing. But the amount of cattiness with the colorism and just everything was just awful. I just didn't like that.
It was a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that made this season real catty, because the actual show itself wasn't really given, right? At least last season, even last season, the year before that, the actual episodes were entertaining. This season, everything that was happening outside of the show is what grabs our attention. Because honestly, I think it was around, if they would have never went, if they didn't have that little that altercation that they had previously, the dinner scene would have never happened at the retreat, and then nothing pretty much would have exploded. It's all the behind the scenes stuff, the hanging outside the cast when you're not supposed to, the trying to alter the votes, the is one people wanting to fight other people. Like all of that is what made this season messy. I'm used to show messy. Like if I see the messiness on the show, I can talk about it. But when y'all start bringing out these outside pieces, then everybody's like, what in the world is going on? And that's why they're saying it's the worst season ever. It's not, it may be the worst season ever because of everything else that's happening behind. The character of the people is what's worse, not the season. The character of the people that they chose for this season, some of them, not all of them, is trash. You can name about a good 5 people right now that you like how are they grown? How are these grown adult people acting like this? And it's unfortunate that there are people who are grown, who want to find love, who acting like adults and carrying themselves a certain way, are frustrated because you got the clique over here acting like little kids. And this is why they was all heated at that reunion, because everyone's like, see, this I'm fed. Everyone's fed up now at this point because it's a mess. Like, you interrupting all our journey to find love because y'all want to sit up here and also vote. Y'all want to, and they can't say all of this on the show. Because remember, they never said any of that on the reunion. We only know about that from the interviews. If they would have never said all the stuff that they were saying, we would have been just like, why are they so mad? Like, what's going on? Why is it, it's so tense? And it's tense because of everything that they wasn't supposed to be doing, they was freaking doing. So is it ready to love? No, it's the people.
It's the people, and you're right. It was just a one. It was just a group, but then they affected how other group, how the people that were really there for the right reasons, how they moved. It affected, you know, those 2 girls. Then it affected some other 2 girls, and then it affected had their relations with the guys, and the guys, you know, they're trying to be grown and trying to just, you know, make connections or have a good time or what have you. And there were some miscommunications, but it was really, it's really sad. It was really like, aren't y'all over 30? Like, to see, it was saying, what's going on? Aren't y'all, aren't y'all over 30?
Yeah.
Mm.
And when you listen to it and you see the people who actually did find real love, these are the people who was not involved in that mess. If you listen, you never heard Dante was at the party. You never heard Aisha was at the party. You never heard well, you know, we did hear that Sydney was at the party, but she got caught up in some stuff. You know, Phil really got caught up in some stuff by just not listening to production. Like, y'all need to learn how to just follow the rules. Shall sign a contract and follow the rules.
Yeah, sign a contract and follow the rules. And it was so funny, and I don't remember. It was Aisha's interview. She said that Zadia came to her after one of the deliberations. It's like, what is going on? And she said, I want to apologize. It really wasn't towards you. It was really towards Sydney. Well, then leave that over there. But then why are you, so whatever is affecting you with your issues with her, why are you bringing it into the setting the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, because even like everything that they showed, it just, the storylines were not making sense, and we all kept trying to figure out like what's where'd that come from, or why she got an attitude, or why she always mad. But like you said, it was those connections happening outside of the recording, and I'm sure production was mad about that because they couldn't even keep up with it, and they couldn't make the story. They couldn't glue it back together.
Yeah,
that's probably why it's so disconnected. Because if you think about what happened between you, if you think about Jason and Kyra, all that messy, you know, like that little bit of mess, and you know, the little bit of tension that was in that area, we get to see all of that because they was following the rules. When you think about you know, Rashid and Adriana not making him stay so that, you know, and then she ended up having to eliminate him. Like, that's the show drama that we like, right? Not the behind the scenes where this one was fighting this one at the club in the bar, and now we got to go have a conversation with Tommy for couples counseling. And now I can't talk to you in deliberations about the actual process because you was trying to fight me at the birthday party. Like, child, it's too much. It's just too much.
It's too much. Yeah. I hope next season's not like this because it's just ridiculous.
And it seemed like for this season, every time they showed Tommy, he just seemed over it. Like, he was looking at them like, how old are we again? Y'all called me in here for this? You got to be kidding me.
I totally agree. We said that, Misha and I said that, and he was like, y'all got me out of my bed for this? What is...
Tommy was so through with this cast. Every time he turned around, he was like, I don't want to hear about it no more. I don't want to hear about it no more, child. I felt bad for Tommy because he like, I'm trying to do a grown-up thing with grown adults, and they come in here acting like this is VH1's Love Island or something like that. Like, go ahead.
That was his real reason for not coming to the reunion. He was over it. He was like, "Can we go on and skip Uno reverse to the new season already? Because I am over it."
That's why we got one. That's why we got a week. Literally, we didn't even get a full week. We got 6 days.
Yeah, they're like, we need to redo this. We need to get whole new people in here. Let's try to do this show over again because this was ridiculous.
Yeah, like let's just redeem ourselves because we don't know what's going. And I think they knew that the actual season itself wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, which is why they brought the next season back so fast before people lose interest. But then they did. I don't think they knew that the cast was going to go out here and run rampant and put all the business out the way they did. So then it became a whole different thing.
Yeah, because it definitely had me like, I don't know, I was just so turned off. Like, am I really gonna watch I am gonna watch the next season, but I was really contemplating, like, I don't even know if I'm giving it that energy because this was just way too much. I already feel like I lost about a week or two from watching all these reunions and stuff. I got work to catch up on. Like, I'm giving too much of my time to these people and they ain't paying me for this.
Girl, I'm at work trying to just, scroll on my little Facebook, and I'm like, what happened now? Say what? I gotta go make a video about this. Now I'm on all in my thoughts all day trying to get my thoughts together, child. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you though, I'd rather watch this than Mavs because this at least these people are just dating. Like this, the marriage is something more sacred, and y'all just putting people together just to be just willy-nilly. Just just throw them in together just for no reason. I'm like, no, I can't. So I watched them, but I can't. I'm not. Me and Misha aren't doing our review show. Not this season. When it's in San Diego, I'll probably come back because I was like, oh, I feel nostalgic.
Wait, who's going to San Diego? Maps or Ready to Love?
Mavs is going to be in San Diego. Not because this is Boston. After Boston, they'll be in San Diego.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it too because every time I see something from California, I'm like, oh, I know where that's at. Oh,
Right.
oh. But there's always a couple in Maps that I just have to fast forward through. Like there's some couples I cannot watch. It just be so dry.
I am so invested in Maps, y'all, and this was before I even started reviewing it, and that's why it's my first show, right? That I ever reviewed because I absolutely love this show. The thing about it is I'm so invested now. It's hard to stop. But the 2 hours makes me not enjoy it when I have to rewatch it for the notes. That's when I be like, I'm over this show. Like watching it with the open chat, I have fun with that. But when I gotta rewatch it for the notes, it's like I don't even know if I want to watch it because it's not as good as it used to be the second time around.
Like the 3 hours, the first night, the 3 hours, I was like, this is ridiculous. Y'all could have just moved all of this along. I didn't understand these 3 hours.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to bring up to my therapist the way I'm traumatized because I think Chris and Paige did it for me. But you know what? Michael too. Lion Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So them three, I'm gonna just have to just let it loose next week during therapy. Like
it absolutely did though.
But that's part of the thing. Like when it used to be an hour, I used to think to myself, "Dag, I wish it stayed on longer." And I think a lot of us was saying that, and Mavs was like, "Oh, great, cool. Y'all want longer." And now we like, "No, go back." When it was just 3 couples, 1 hour, I was fine with that. As soon as they added in 5 couples, 2 hours, I said, "You got to be kidding me right now."
But they're stretching out the wrong things. That's it. They're just stretching out the wrong episodes. We don't want to see 5 episodes of a wedding. Like, don't jump the broom and keep it moving.
I agree with you. It's just But Chris and Paige did it for me, and that I'm like, and then I just see a black woman go through that. But also, then you got Michaela and Zach. That did it for me too. I was like, oh no. So I watch it and I'll go on somebody else's show, but I'm not going to sit. I can't. If we're watching it for the notes, I was like, oh Lord, not doing it. Not another next season when they're in San Diego. I'll come back.
I think I want to do a Married at First Sight panel. Maybe I should do that for this season.
That'll be fun.
That would be fun. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's hard to get people to commit to stuff like that. And then,
it came to mind yesterday watching Alex's interview.
What happened?
I compared Cornelius to Zach. They were giving me one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like
He is. This is exactly the same situation.
Mm-hmm. I could see where, yeah, I could, yeah, absolutely. I thought the same thing.
It's
I
literally
thought
the
the
same
same thing.
situation.
And yeah, I like panels, and I was on Kamisha's panel, but then I actually had a production. I just did our my film shoot, so with casting and everything else, I had to back out. But yeah, I'll do the panel, but I'm not gonna. I can't watching it for my own. I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah. No,
These
I'm
people
still
make
going to
me
review it though. I'm still going to review it because I told my subscribers we trauma bonding at this point.
Yeah, we are. No, we trauma
We
bonding.
trauma bonded. Like we come every Wednesday, we go through these motions, and then we be like, I don't know how much more I got in me, and we still be back. Yo, we trauma bonded, y'all.
right, I'm gonna have to add y'all as beneficiaries on my life insurance policy at this point, because we done been through the mud.
And every year we be like, this the worst year ever.
I put in the chat earlier. I said I kind of want to read this script, Corey, or am I being a glutton for punishment? And and nobody answered me, but I said I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to meet with him.
Well, you go ahead and you figure it out and let us know what it's about, child, because ain't nobody got time to be trying to listen to Corey.
I said I think I might be a glutton for punishment, but I'm kind of tempted to do it because it might be.
Anything for Corey, we need the Cliff Notes version.
Mm.
I don't have enough brain cells, and I don't want him to take away the rest that I do have.
Now he killed the ones I had for tonight.
Yes.
You saw me get up here like y'all gotta figure it out for me because I ain't got nothing to give y'all.
You know what though? I do with your question earlier about who would you like to see again. It's so funny because Lamont had a segment that they deleted or they didn't show. Libba had a segment that they didn't show, and somebody else had a segment that they didn't show. They just had like a little, a few snippets, and they on the reunion, and they didn't show it. So I really do wish they would, do better with showing, more of the people, more about them, more about these people that they're casting. We don't know why they're there if you just don't show anything about them.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't want to. Don't say that because they're gonna bring the casting special back.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to say.
Don't say that. They're gonna bring the casting special back. We don't want it. No. Crystal was playing with y'all.
You know what? You're right. I'm so sorry. I don't want to see the casting special. I'm glad they're not showing casting special.
But wait, Chloe, you need to really go and see season 1 for Ready to Love. Because that honestly it's the OGs, and every time they interview some of the ladies from all the different seasons, they always ask like, "Ooh, if you were to give one of the guys a chance from past seasons, who would it be?" And they all say, "Is it Michael? Is his name Michael?" I can't remember, but yeah, you have to go back and watch season 1.
I have to go back and watch season 1. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I'm gonna have to because I need all of this to make sense from beginning to end. From beginning to end. But we about to get up off of here, y'all. We've been up here for a while.
Yes, thank you. I was actually trying to find a way to get off because I got some work to do, but I couldn't. Y'all was pulling me back. Every time I tried to leave, something kept holding me back.
This was fun. Y'all took me away from my writing, so this was fun.
Okay, I'm gonna drop y'all out. But yes, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Crystal, make sure we put your link in the chat so they can come over to your page and check you out. You guys, so I want to say this before I go. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. But for our After Dark special, not this Sunday because it's every other Sunday, we are doing the After Dark special. I have Lady, Let the Lady Speaks coming, and she is going to talk to us about achieving the big O and how we can get there. Okay, so I want y'all to make sure y'all join me 10 o'clock next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday. And she's going to give us some pointers because she told me that none of us should be having, any type of intimacy and not achieving, the big O. So she's going to help us all be able to get there if we having troubles getting there. Okay. Of course, it's going to be in a classy, professional way. It's not going to be all raunchy, but we could push it just a little bit. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the open chat for Married at First Sight. If you don't think you'll be able to miss the live for the After Dark, I'm only saving the After Dark lives for members. So I will stream it for everyone. Everyone will be able to watch it when we're streaming it, but it's only going to be saved for members because that content don't get monetized. Okay, the membership is $199. So if you don't think you're going to be able to make those lives, then pay that $199, and you'll be able to catch those replays back on your time in your own time. Okay. But other than that, y'all, I'm going to jump up off of here. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow in the Married at First Sight chat. And, we'll be back for Ready to Love the next season, whatever season this is, 6 or 5, who knows, on Friday. Peace.